Mhm.
Well, this hangout is live, but we haven't officially started yet. I'm gonna get a link. YouTube page. Copy that. Hope I don't need to turn my light on. Well, maybe after our first recess.
Looks pretty bright there now.
Yeah, it's hot. Too hot. And this.
Therefore, the gun show.
CAPMAX HYPECAST Raw.
Timmy Tough Arms over here.
Well,
Yep. And then we'll talk about Transformers. Like, you don't hear enough of that, right?
well,
You,
I
you
don't
probably
know
don't, though, do you? He probably doesn't. The
Oh,
worlds aren't colliding,
no, I hear it a lot.
do you?
But I don't know a lot on your little worksheet there, so I'll just be spending these hours busting your balls over stuff. Just so you know.
Awesome.
That's fair.
Chops will be busted.
No, but chops. Boop. And if Pretzel shows, hopefully he'll show. We'll give him the link. Okay. Actually, I'm going to test that link myself. Episode 18, CAPMAX HYPECAST Raw.
Looks pretty good, but I don't see any. I guess until somebody comments. Oh, there's the chat. I see it on the side now.
Yes. See that one?
Nothing yet. There, now I see it now. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, like that. It's like there wasn't time to move the mic. What do you think is more popular, you or Joe?
What's that?
What do you think is more popular, you or Joe? Seems like everyone wants to hang out with Joe.
Joe is the superstar.
Is that part of the charm? Always leaves them wanting more.
Yeah, exactly. He's wild and crazy.
Yeah. Is there promiscuous movie adventures while everyone's playing with video games? Angry Bird, Angry Decepticon. Insider talk. I don't always have Cartridge Club people on. But when I do, no one knows what we're talking about.
Nobody outside of the club knows what's going on.
That's why I was hoping Brazil would be here, because I want to get that gaming. What is it, Gaming Rebellion? Is that their
I think
posse?
that's one of the sites he does stuff for. He's all he's like prolific.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Gaming Rebellion's one of his.
Hang-ups. Is it? Yeah, Gaming Rebellion.
Gaming Rebellion and
All these internet names. That's why I just use my regular name for the most part. It's much easier. It's got a good ring to it. All right. I don't know if he's gonna show up. Hold on. My goodness. I'm going to start actual recording. Hold on. Mic test. Mic test. My mic sounds good. Sounds everything right? I can hear it. Everything sounds good.
Do we sound good? I don't know.
Everyone sounds great.
Everyone sounds awesome.
I like where this is headed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me just get the show up. Close this. Leaving the show planner up. I guess I'll leave the Podomatic site up. Should I close Twitter? I'll leave Twitter open for Brazil's sake. Boobies. I see what
Say
you're doing.
what?
Okay. How long does it take you guys to get started on average, Bill? I'm always curious
Are you
about
joking?
the inner workings. Well, it sounds like you kind of just start.
We start as soon as possible. You don't want to miss any of this stuff. This is all compelling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
This is the riffing. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah, if someone comes on and starts, hey, how's it going, all this stuff, and I'm missing it, it's like, Jesus, there's a whole show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, that is your show. I mean, it's very Seinfeldian. See, Oh, Brazzle, question mark. I had the same problem with Adam, actually, from Replayability, and they're both part of this Gaming Rebellion group.
They're retroholics, I think.
Cool.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Adam's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Met
Yeah.
him recently.
Oh, yeah. The,
Oh, I did the game swap, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. You guys are crushing it in Ontario. Everyone's just getting to hang out, buy games, sell games.
It's only what, a 22-hour drive for you? Come
Nothing
on.
to it, really.
Pretty long drive.
I would have seriously considered going to the next Barrie Game Exchange, but it's just the timing. I won't be able to make it.
Yeah, like, shit. Are you sure there's no one you can jump aboard with, make that journey?
Oh, I could, for sure. I just can't actually get away. I think the actual day of it is my son's birthday. So, it's August 21st,
excuse. Right? No excuse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I didn't
August
sign
21st.
up for it and then say it's my son's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Wait, am I recording this? Oh, we are recording. Alright, cool.
We're live.
Let's start then. The music plays.
My beer is almost gone already. Gosh.
Good. I'm running out of time. Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome to the CAPMAX HYPECAST. Our recording date today is June the 10th, 2016. It is Friday after work, and I am joined today with Bill from the STC Pod and RyHo Magnifico. And at some point, hopefully, Brazzle the Gamer, but we haven't found him yet. I've been waiting online, keeping my eye on Twitter. We did have him scheduled for this show, but where's Brazzle? I don't know. Hashtag where's Brazzle?
Hashtag where's Brazzle?
There you go. So hopefully he'll show up and he can join our discussion. Our main topic tonight is depressing sci-fi, be it from movies or TV shows, even maybe it's some anime. We'll see how it goes. But our guests that are here today, they don't have all night, so let's get right to it, and we will start with Bill. Bill, how's it going today?
Yo, hey, it's going good. I feel so lucky I got to hear the Steven Eider intro live in my ears. It was exciting.
Ear porn.
Very exciting. It's so euphonious and melodic. Right. Oh, my God.
It's like a magic hype spell. It always gets me going.
I'm hyped already. I don't even know what we're doing.
Right? I don't know. I haven't done this in a while. Like you guys, you do podcasts once a week. That's out of control. I don't know how I can schedule that in.
Well, we try to keep it, low budge. We just throw some mics on, and you just overhear us busting some balls for an hour. No big deal.
The 1 hour time limit is key. It's clutch.
Yeah, 1 hour time limit, Steven Eider. 1 hour time limit.
Now, I listen to my podcast at work, and the longer the podcast, the better, I find. Most of the time. So, Bill, tell us a bit more about the... You actually mentioned this in, I believe, your latest episode. Mighty Q-Dog asked this. So, your show is originally called Start to Continue. Now it's STC Pod. Now, there's also this movement that's been going on about calling things not Pod, but Roid. So shouldn't it be the STC Roid?
Yeah, I definitely think you're onto something there. I tried very early on in our run to get rid of the whole podcast moniker, but no one's having it. People just have to say podcast for some reason. So, yeah, we started out Start to Continue, and I think we were going to be more game heavy, but it just ended up us, yelling at each other for an hour and got away from games. So I think it was after our 50th episode we kind of rebranded. It's now just STC Pod, the Start to Continue podcast.
Perfect. Yeah, it's quick. It rolls off the tongue.
Yep.
And your co-host, Angry Canadian Joe. Angry Canadian Septicon Joe. He's not here. Is it a relief if you're not on a podcast without Joe for a change? I do have a beverage here. I can't promise that belches won't happen. I'll try and move the mic out of the way.
Yeah, I haven't heard crunching or any kind of...
I'm hearing clicking, though. Who's clicking? Someone?
Me?
That might be it, yeah.
This mic is a little sensitive. I'm always worried about it.
Weird. I wonder what it's.
If it really bothers you, I can switch to my webcam mic. It might be a little bit less clicky. If it's me.
That's okay. I had this one episode. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if anyone listens to the show, honestly. That's why I started doing the YouTube thing too, because I ended up removing them from the Podomatic because I don't want to pay money for uploading stuff. But we had this one episode where there was this weird clicky noise, like it was something wrong with the actual recording of the show.
I think I listened to that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty. It's like tap 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 tap. Ooh, hopefully that won't happen this time.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, mics can do that if they, especially these USB ones.
I think it was the program I was using. It was a program called Pamela. I don't know. I don't use that anymore. I actually use OBS. It's really good for just recording everything. Speaking of podcasts that we listen to, the Retro Fandango, they've been doing a thing now with adding like soundboard stuff, and I've been experimenting with that. It's pretty neat. I might
break out some soundboards, please.
Yeah. Holy crap, boys! I got this request for permission thing. Allow. Give me my toolbox. Wait, I'm loading it up. Probably not gonna edit this out. Well, I fiddle with this. Joe or Bill. See, I wrote your name down just to not do that. Bill. Tell us a bit more about these recent Ontario game swaps. Sounds like you guys have quite a few of those happening, and at least what, twice a year?
Yeah, it seems to be getting pretty good around here. We have in a town called Waterloo a game swap that happens in the spring and fall, and now Barrie has picked up with a show, and it's in the spring and fall. That the Barrie one's run by Cartridge Clubber Nintendo Hodge, so that's always fun.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, I should have gotten this ready before I started. Okay, good stuff. And let's chat a bit with RyHo then. Now,
RyHo.
You have a YouTube channel, right? RyHo?
Oh, see, you're bugging him about his mic.
Oh, no. Don't make me edit things. There was a lot of clicking, though. Wait,
I'm
we
going
got
to
notifications.
switch to my webcam. Does that sound better?
Yeah,
Still
that's
clicking?
pretty good.
Okay.
Cool.
It's pretty good. It works pretty well, too. But anyway, I used to do the YouTube thing a lot more than I do now. I've been trying to get, I've had a couple of videos up in the last couple of weeks and stuff like that, so I'm trying to get back into that more.
Yeah, because I only noticed that recently. I'm like, RyHo, I've seen his comments on YouTube videos, but I don't think I've seen videos. And I looked up, and I think you've got more subscribers than I do.
I have like 802 subscribers. They're all carryover from when I used to do. I took most of my videos down. I had 300 and some at one point. I might have less than 100 now. I ended up taking a lot of them down. I used to do YouTube before the copyright stuff was really a problem.
Yeah.
And then I got absolutely hammered when they started bringing that stuff through because I put little clips of movies and things like that in there. And so I almost lost my channel at least twice that I can think of from different clips that I had. So I took all those videos down and I just kind of used YouTube as a way to interact with watching other people's videos and stuff like that. And would love to get back into it, but who's got the time? Who's got the time?
True that. I've got ideas, many videos I want to make, but just getting to it, it's tricky.
It's difficult.
Very tricky.
It's difficult, for sure.
I've been doing a lot of, Bill, you can relate to this. I've been doing a lot of like thrift store and garage sale visits lately, and it's definitely cut into that as well. I don't have the room, but I keep going anyways. Oh, it's just the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah, you've been hitting them hard.
I can't get the soundboard thing working. Oh, I don't want to.
well.
Yeah, we got shit to discuss. And of course, I am Steven. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to this latest episode of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. Of course, you can find this on Podomatic for a little while at least. CAPMAX HYPECAST, and of course here on the YouTube channel where you can watch us live as we stumble through yet another episode. And this will of course be the raw feed. I don't even know if you can edit these live streams once they upload. All right. Good stuff. That's good for introductions, which means YouTube channels. And we mentioned Start to Continue. Where can we find Start to Continue? That's on Podbean now, right?
Yep, we're on Podbean, iTunes, stcpod.com. There's a YouTube channel, YouTube/Start to Continue. I just put up a short little clip of some dash cam action. There's a little bit of everything on that channel.
Oh, that's one of the planes, is it?
Yeah, our Canadian snowbirds in formation.
Nice.
Neat. Yeah, that is very Canadian. Those guys. We get things like that around here, too. And your Twitter, it's at STCPod, I believe.
Right. I'm, at STCPod, and my partner at the show, Joe, he's at AC Decepticon.
Okay.
Check him out, too.
Very good, very good. And RyHo, you've got videos up. That's just what RyHo Magnifico is that?
Yeah, RyHo Magnifico. Twitter is at RyHo Magnifico, and that's RyHomagnifico. If I spelled that correctly, I hope. I also have a website, retrodef.ca, kind of like my own little blog. I kind of write stuff there occasionally, post my videos there as well. I'm also on a weekly movie live discussion show on YouTube as well, called the Sausage Factory. We're on break right now. We do a break every year around the summertime, so we're going into season 5 though in September, which is pretty intense. So
I feel like I've heard of that name once, maybe twice, and that was recently. You need to pimp your shit out more.
I do. I tweet it out. The Twitter feeds are hard to keep up with. You got all these people, with 200 people in there, so I can understand it gets through sometimes. But yeah, do that usually every week on Thursdays. This would actually have been a great topic for that show, but I won't let them use it now.
Go ahead. Maybe you can do it better. Yeah,
does. Let's see. But yeah.
All right, and still no word from Brazzle the Gamer, but popular dude on the YouTube. He's definitely been blowing up lately. He's almost at 1,000 subscribers, I believe. Covers a lot of retro gaming stuff. And he's part of the, what did we say it was? Retroholics?
Retroholics.
That's the podcast group. And I think he's also in the Gaming Rebellion. There's so many of these things these days.
He writes for another big site, too. It's driving me nuts what it is.
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. It's hard to keep up with the man. He's prolific.
Yeah, this boat has sailed. And, of course, both RyHo and Bill are members of the Cartridge Club. That's at cartridgeclub.org.
Yeah.
Where you can find all sorts of podcasts and YouTube channels and the like. I don't think they have my podcast listed there yet.
Get on Dean.
Dean. I don't know if
Send a message to Dean.
Yeah. No, he's... I always bring it up. Anyways, what you been playing? What you been watching? Oh, and be warned, I'm drinking this Rockstar Energy Coffee Mocha thing, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a bit jittery already.
Coffee.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be on the ceiling at the end of this.
It's not bad. It's got that taurine stuff.
I can't drink that stuff. It makes me sick.
Yeah, it's a unique flavor. Guarana and caffeine. I mean, that's party right there. I was going to buy drinks, but drinks are expensive.
Drinks are expensive.
And shout out to Lexie FM, who is watching us live on the YouTube channel. Good evening,
Lexie.
Right. So, what you been playing? What you been watching? This is that part of the show where, once again, we're still warming up. I'm still trying to get back into the swing of podcast stuff. I always forget how to do this after what's been like a month and a half since the last one. Anyways, what you been playing? What you been watching? Our chance to discuss some of the things been watching, playing, etc. And damn it, Brazzle, you ruined my whole show. I keep having Brazzle's name first, just 'cause that's how I throwing me off. All right, Bill. Now you recently acquired a PS3, and welcome to the family. What you been playing? What you been watching?
Yeah, I was late to that show, but I've always, I never liked. I was an Xbox guy, so I like the Xbox, but these PlayStations kind of landed in my lap, so I'm getting on board with that. And the first game I played on it was Heavenly Sword. And loved it. It was great. And then I just played through the first the first Drake Drake number one.
Yep.
Drake won.
Drake won. So I'm playing these PlayStation games that I've never even, heard a hint about on my Xbox. So it's been a lot of fun. Been enjoying it. I got The Last of Us ready to go next. I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
I hear good things. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I played the first Drake, and I liked it, but I haven't gone back and played any of the others. A friend of mine's like really into the series. I think he bought a PS4 just to play Uncharted 4, but haven't really played anything past the first one.
It was a good trailer. What was that? Last year at E3? The one where the guy's controller, the battery died and he just couldn't move. And they had to,
Yeah, I think
they had to reset the whole thing. Oh man.
E3 and the live errors are fantastic.
That was going to be on the list for this show. I was going to ask if E3 is dead now. It kind of feels like it is. I don't know. If we have time, we'll get to that.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. The only Uncharted, I was going to call it Drake too. The only Drake Charted I've played was the Vita one. Pretty good though. Really nice graphics. It does do the swipey screen thing, but it's reasonable. There's like vines, and you swipe the screen to cut vines. That's cool. You don't do it any other way, really.
Yeah, it's one of the few games that uses the backpad too, I think.
Can't remember what it does.
I'm trying to remember. I remember when they first showed it off, they were kind of like it was an opportunity to show off all the different functions of the Vita, and they had that tap pad, and there was some kind of a functionality built into that one.
It's so surprising Vita ended up the way it did, because I mean, like that.
Did I hear that it's getting discontinued, or is that like a rumor or something?
Rumor.
Like rumor.
That's interesting.
Now I'm interested in it.
Yep.
The same thing with the PSP. I got the PSP literally, I think, to the day that they announced the Vita.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I love the PSP. Bought all these games for it. Loved it. Now all of a sudden the Vita's dying, and now I want one. I don't know why I do that, but.
Was it you who also recently got a PSP, or was that Joe?
Yeah, I'm pretty new to the PSP. No, Joe won't play handheld stuff. I don't know.
Oh, that's a note.
I don't know. But yeah, PSP, super cheap. In fact, today I was in Shoppers Drug Mart.
Nice.
And Steven Eider's story here. Just happened. I don't know. It's like it's new old stock, a dual pack of Secret Agent Clank and Daxter. And it had a $5 price sticker on it, brand new.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So,
that Daxter one's pretty good.
It didn't ring up as $5. It rang up like something way more. But, hey, the sticker's on it. You got to do what you got to do.
No doubt.
Go on.
So, yeah, PSP games, dirt cheap. So I'm enjoying finding them. And, I have the modified dashboard or whatever, so I can play the retro stuff on here, too.
Cool.
It's good times.
Okay, so it's modded. You have like every Super Nintendo game, basically.
Yeah, I have the Super Nintendo library. I'm looking for the N64 library to throw on there too, but there doesn't
play pretty well with the circle pad. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That would work pretty nicely.
Now wait, weren't you the one that recently picked up Star Fox 64?
I did, yeah. Yep.
So now you could just play it emulator-wise, now that you've got the cart.
Yeah, well,
It's always awkward when people are right up to date. It's like, oh yeah, I did. It's like when you tweet too much and then people know stuff you didn't realize you tweeted out.
Well, I overpaid for it, so I don't like admitting I bought that one.
But I've never heard of you as being one who acquired N64 stuff.
Yeah, just getting into that. Never had an N64 before. Until late last year, I got a hold of one, so... Starting to build that up.
Can you tolerate the graphics?
I was going to say, you don't have much love for the N64, do you, Steve?
No.
I love the thing, man. I've had mine since launch. Yeah, the graphics are rough to look at sometimes today, especially if you put them on like a flat screen or whatever, but the games are great. There's some really good games on there.
It's a system that demands the nostalgia goggles. If you don't have those... I remember back in the day... the N64 was instrumental in my love of PC gaming. Because I remember I was at a friend's house. Shout out to John, who at the time he had like just the cool everyone come over to John's place and we'll go to the basement. And he's got like N64 and PC and stuff, and they were playing like GoldenEye or something. I'm like, dude, your computer state of the art. This is like a Pentium processor. I'm playing Ribbon. It's like, these graphics blowing my mind. That's a 5-disc game. God damn.
Riven, is that the sequel to Myst?
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah. I played Myst.
Spoiler,
I don't think I've ever played Riven.
super good. I think it holds up. The Steam version is like a shitty Dropbox port though, so it needs to be properly updated.
I'll tell you what, I got Myst on the PSP. Don't play that one. That is hard to play.
I don't like the first Myst. It's not no.
You need to have a mouse.
Good.
I think in the end you have to have the mouse because you're going with the circle pad trying to move the mouse pointer like in the game and stuff like that. Like it just doesn't land.
Do you have it digitally?
Yeah.
Cool. I've got that on my Vita. Do you know Vita can play a lot of those PSP digitals?
That's another reason because that's what I've been buying lately. I have a PS3. And all I'm buying for it is the PS1 classics, PS2 classics. Whenever a sale comes up, I find I'm buying like they're like $2, $3. I'm just like, even if I own them, I'm like, well, I could throw it on my PSP, and so that's kind of one of the reasons I also haven't gotten a Vita because I can pretty much play all those games on my PSP, and they look fantastic anyway. So, but there is some Vita only titles, some indie titles and stuff like that that are pretty enticing. So
for sure. For a while, they had the PlayStation Mobile, which kind of felt like a store that you would get in smartphones. So there's a lot of real indie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the indie scene where it's like they still have the budget and the know-how, but then you get that level down beyond that where it's like things are a bit grimy, a bit grungy, but super unique. They had that.
WiiWare.
Pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Anyways, we were on what N64 and PS3. Did you mention Eco and Shadow of the Colossus as well, Bill?
Yeah, I just picked the. Is it Eco or Ico? I don't know. I picked that up at one.
Have you started that one yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. Got a big backlog.
Yeah. Yeah, don't we all? It's hard to even start it. I just want to keep playing Team Fortress 2. It's easier. I'm sitting here in front of the computer, everything's set up. It's like, well, whenever I click on Steam TF2, then it's like 11 p.m. and it's like, oh, shit, I'm out of time.
Did you get Overwatch then?
I want an Overwatch. It's on the list here.
It's on the list. It's like TF2 only on steroids, from what I hear.
Oh, but with waifus, and hopefully, I hear they're a lot tougher on hackers and all that. TF2 has kind of become a wasteland since it became free to play.
They're like, go ahead,
mod
everything, do what you want.
So good. All right. Any other shows or games you want to mention, Bill, before we get too off topic?
Shows. Yeah. Have you seen the new? You seen the new Preacher? I'm loving that.
I have not.
Did that? Sorry, I don't know. Is that a new show or?
Yeah,
Preacher?
it's a new show from. Where is it on?
AMC or?
Yeah, that one's on AMC, and it's by Seth Rogen and his writing partner. And it's got a great mix of action and a little sprinkle of humor here and there, and like occult stuff and vampire stuff. And
so it's based on the comic.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
I heard that was happening, but I didn't realize it was on the air. That's fantastic. I'll have to keep an eye out for that one.
They started the TV show as a pre-sequel to the comic just so they could set it up a little bit more. I guess the comic kind of jumps into things, both feet flying, so they kind of start things a little bit earlier. And the other big show is Outcast, and we see that in Canada on HBO. It's on Cinemax in the States, and that's Kirkman's next show. It's a wild one. It's good stuff.
Nice. Most of my shows have been on DVD. I'm just been watching a lot of old stuff.
Yeah, you pick up just about anything and throw it in.
I got a pretty good collection, and I can see these stacks over here.
Oh, we'll be talking about that later.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see that Jeff Blamming actually wrote an episode of Outcast. That's interesting. Very cool.
Alrighty. I cannot get the Hangout toolbox to open up. Click on it, and it disappears. Thanks, Google. I'll figure out the soundboard thing eventually. It'll be a good time eventually.
Cool.
It was working before. I don't know. It's Friday. It's been a long week. I'm tired. Just to confirm, CartridgeClub.org does not have the CAPMAX Hypecast in its podcast list. Sons of bitches. Fuck, who the hell are Bonus Barrel? I said this before. I've never heard these guys anywhere. I listened to one episode. I think one guy had a lisp. It was kind of...
You got to pay the dues, man. It's heavy dues to get
You
out
got to
there.
bribe Dean. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Send
he
him some
does
Super Mario merch. Some like really out there shit.
He's mad that I don't, because I'll send him pictures of things sometimes. I'm like, hey, dude, check this out. He's like,
I'm looking
those
at
are pretty good crackers. I don't want to send crackers. It's weird. Open the candy and eat the candy. Don't eat it.
Yeah. He doesn't keep coming to Ontario to visit. He's coming to collect his tribute.
Oh, fucking Dean, man. He'll go to Ontario, but he won't visit Vancouver. Retro Gaming Expo. Come on. All right. Anyways, we're way off topic. It's okay. Sound good, Bill? Anything else you want to give a shout out? Okay, cool. RyHo, tell us what you've been playing, what you've been watching.
I haven't been playing much at all. I got heavy into Donkey Kong in May. Pretty much spent most of my time gaming on that game. Playing that game, it was great. I do have Fire Emblem in my 3DS, the new Fire Emblem, and I still just can't get into that game. Tomorrow I'm giving it one last go. I got a couple hours to myself tomorrow night. I'm going to give it another shot. And if it doesn't catch me, I'm probably just going to give up on it because I just really loved Awakening, and just that game was so enjoyable, and I played a lot of that, but I'm just not getting caught by the new one. But that's really it for. I feel like I'm just grabbing random games lately. I'll throw on the Wii U and just something that I downloaded at some point. I'll throw it on, play it for a bit, and Steam, same kind of thing. So I played a little Sonic the other night. Played through the first 2 stages in Sonic. I'm still not sure what I feel about that one. Had some fun with it though, so that was cool.
I'm surprised all this recent dislike of old Sonic.
Yeah,
New
I was
Sonic,
surprised
I understand, but I mean, really, don't like.
I was on the forum and I was pretty surprised by the there was a few people that were really positive about it at the first, and then it was just like everyone kind of getting down on it. But I don't know. I've never really played. I didn't play it. I didn't have a Sega Genesis back in the day. I was a Super Nintendo kid, so I played it, of course, but never really played it extensively. So this is kind of my first time really giving it a good go, and it's a tough game. It's a tough game. So the big thing I've been into lately, I think, is I've been watching a ton of the Hannibal TV series. I don't know if you guys watched any of that. And that's why I brought up that Jeff Flamming guy. He's writing some episodes of Outcast. He wrote I think he wrote a lot of the episodes of Hannibal, and it's all based on Hannibal Lecter. Kind of like a prequel to Red Dragon kind of thing. It had 3 seasons on NBC. I think it had a rocky run. It got canceled, I think, last year.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely excellent show. I can't stop watching it. The first season more so than the second season. I'm almost done the second season. I enjoyed the first season a lot more, but it's still just really stylistic and just well written and interesting show, I think. So I've been watching a lot of that, and the acting is great. Hugh Dancy plays Will Graham in it, and this guy is awesome, absolutely awesome in it.
Right on. Yeah, they really like that Hannibal guy. Like, it wasn't just one movie. It was based on a book, and then that was it. And then they're like, hey, maybe we can do a bit more of this guy.
I think they kept getting the guy that wrote them, Thomas Harris. He wrote 2, I think, initially, Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs. And I think they kept convincing him to write more books so they could make more movies. I think because I think he wrote Hannibal and Hannibal Uprising, or Hannibal Rising or whatever it was called, like after the fact. And I think it was kind of a pressure from movie studios and stuff like that to sell the character a little bit more. I don't think he has any involvement with the show. The show kind of goes its own way. At first, I thought it might line up and be a prequel to the movies and the books, but it's definitely gone its own way completely. But it's still, I wasn't sure how I could watching those movies and stuff like that. Anthony Hopkins was ingrained in my mind as Hannibal, but this guy Mads Mikkelsen plays Hannibal in it, and he's excellent. So different kind of version, but yeah, it's a good show. It's on Netflix, 3 seasons. I think there was talk of a 4th season, but I believe Amazon has the streaming rights, and there was a kerfuffle there, so I don't know how that's ever going to work out.
Money will help them find their way in.
Somehow, someday.
Money makes everything better. Unless you don't have it.
True.
And Okay, cool. All right. Anything else you wish to bring up?
No, I think that's it, really, for me lately.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I have some things. I have a whole bunch of things, but we don't have to go through all of them. First one I want to mention is the movie Crimson Peak. Have either of you seen that one yet?
I didn't watch it because everyone that I talked to said it was boring and not to waste my time on it. But I think you liked it, didn't you?
I liked it, yes.
Yes.
I
Okay.
think the problem with Guillermo del Toro movies is that you're left with a certain idea of what it'll be, probably because of trailers. And then they're usually completely different. I think this is one of those. Super cool movie, though. If you like the look of like artsy turn of the century, 19th century kind of look. There's a big castle. There's some great colors in use. It is spooky at times. There may be a ghost or two. It's not really a ghost story. It kind of is. Not really.
See, that's the problem. Like you said, they sold it as a horror kind of ghost movie. And
I don't know what people were expecting. Hopefully they weren't expecting some like Paranormal Activity, but yeah. How did they make so many of those? Can you believe that? Like, it's a camera looking at an empty room.
And what was that movie that just came out recently, The Witch? I hear that one took a lot of flack too because people went to it expecting like paranormal activity. They expected a witch and there'd be that kind of silly kind of I don't know what they were expecting, but that one I hear is also really good. Kind of a slow burn. Might be in your wheelhouse if you like Crimson Peak, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But
yeah, I heard it was very short on the witch stuff. Yeah, a lot of witch stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the thing they named the movie after.
Yeah.
Funny how that goes. Crimson Peak, super long, story short. Independent young woman ends up meeting mysterious dude. They get married. They move into his castle. Wackiness ensues.
His castle?
Yeah. Wow. It's a pretty cool castle. His family got rich, like castle rich, like Joe Rich. Like their castle is built over this mine where they dig out clay. It's like the finest red clay in the land.
Okay.
Something along those lines. But it also makes the castle sink and leak. And I guess the clay just didn't sell as well at this certain point, so it was kind of decrepit, which makes for, once again, super cool just scenery and artwork.
Yeah, sounds like a great set.
I would, once again, highly recommend it. It's been a while since I saw it, so I don't go in too far into it, because I can't remember a lot of it now. But I liked it. Yeah. I got Young Frankenstein here, but I watched that even further back. Cool movie. Classic comedy.
Definitely
the greatest. The greatest.
Well, that's the thing, because I was watching this. Here it is. I got this off of Amazon. SDC Pod. That link wasn't around. The Mel Brooks collection. This was super cheap on Amazon.
Yeah, I've been tempted to get that.
It's pretty neat. I've gone through the 12 Chairs, Blazing Saddles, and now Young Frankenstein.
Man, that stuff's the best. They can't do comedy today at all.
Ugh.
Like, nobody can do comedy today. I wish somebody would just go watch a bunch of Mel Brooks movies and just try to like emulate him. Like I would be fine with that. I would go see the movie and be like, it's a Mel Brooks movie. It's fantastic.
For sure.
I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't blown away by it either. It's different comedy. Like you said, it's definitely a different era of comedy. Mm-hmm. There are certain moments where it's just like super stupid. They're not even jokes, but they're just a lot of like, I guess, puns and just, I don't know.
Come on, man. They all
Frankenstein. Very quotable. They're certainly quotable.
So wonderful. Don't go ahead and watch History of the World then if you thought Young Frankenstein was.
Well, I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't my favorite. Like it's got such it's the nature of hype though. When things are so hyped up, your expectations just become at this unobtainable level.
Sure.
It wasn't bad.
Young Frankenstein is crazy hype though.
Oh yeah.
It's a good movie for sure, but he's got some other stuff that I would imagine would be.
12 Chairs. Do you guys see that one? It was.
I have not seen that.
I haven't. I've never actually even heard of that one, which is kind of when you first said it, I was kind of.
It's the first one on the list. I'm guessing it was Mel Brooks' first big comedy. It's not even really comedy. It's I don't know. I don't know. Okay, whatever. It's a fine movie. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Once again, it's been a while. Like I started this show planner up a month ago.
Well, we've been talking about doing this for quite a while.
I know. Freaking time zones, man.
Time zones.
Brazel's still not here. We haven't heard from him on Twitter. Oh,
Where's Brazel? Hashtag everybody out there watching. Get on Twitter.
Okay, wait.
Hashtag Where's Brazel?
Nope. Wait. We have breaking news. Brazel has entered our Twitter conversation. He forgot, but he was in and out of the doctor's office all day. So Brazel has a note from his doctor. I will type as we record.
Hopefully all is well.
You're feeling okay.
Good.
Join if you want.
It's those
not
penis reduction surgeries.
Well,
Tough to get over.
chat another time. Smiley face. See, I'm such a good guy. Okay. Where are we here? Cool. Tell him to get in here, says Lexie in the chat. Force Awakens. Oh, boy. Hashtag, oh, boy. What did you guys, I'm sure you both saw Star Wars The Force Awakens. What did you think of that one?
I don't know if I want to get into it again here. We did a show for it for the Sausage Factory, and we almost came to blows, I think, in a couple of spots. I loved it. I
liked it too, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
once again, would you say it stood up to the hype of frickin' Star Wars?
Well, I mean, that's the problem, right? Before anyone going in, it's all, you're trying to minimize the hype for it. Like, I decided that I was going to go in full fanboy. Like, I was just going to be like, I am dying to see this movie. I'm excited. I was literally like sitting in the theater, like in the chair, like shaking, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I'm watching Star Wars. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was like, as the movie went, I did have like a slump where I was kind of like, man, they're just doing the first movie over again.
Yeah.
But I got out of that pretty quickly and just enjoyed it for what it was, and it was exciting. It was fun. I liked the new characters, well acted, great scenery. I eventually got caught up in it and really enjoyed it. So.
It was fan service, which in this instant I thought was fine. Like, it was great. It was blatant fan service. It like got on all fours, presented itself, looked behind at you, and said, "Come and enter me and feel the warmth of this world." And I did, and I loved it. That was a great time. And the second viewing I had was even better.
I had the exact same experience. I went again with my dad because he wanted to see it, and the second time going through without all that other kind of, I guess if you want to call them jitters and all that stuff, and having seen it and having talked about it with friends, the second viewing was much better, for sure.
That's cool.
You weren't a fan. Go ahead. Unleash.
I've never honestly been much of a Star Wars fan.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Yeah. As it was, yeah. I really like that scene where the stormtrooper had like his like stun baton. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, go stormtrooper guy with no face. Like, yeah, kick some ass.
Yeah.
That was cool. That part when they were like flying through the Star Destroyer, that seemed a bit dangerous.
It was dangerous.
She really knew the ins and outs of that thing. Obviously, I guess it's just she works in there, and she gathers her scrap metals to make the food that they eat in the desert planet. And like I said, it's been said before, very much once again A New Hope story all over again. Kylo Ren, kind of a punk bitch.
A little bit emo.
Yeah.
A little bit emo. I think that'll change. He's young.
Kind of like a Justin Bieber feel off him. Like, he's got that chip on his shoulders, but he's all hype because he's like the man. Yeah, I wanted to see him walk into the clubs with some alien bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Kylo I want to believe in. Just cutting up.
You have a different view of Star Wars than everyone else.
I like it. Yeah. You gotta get the director's cut for that. Once Lucas takes it back. Yeah, right.
He's still got his fingers in there, man. People don't realize. Yeah. He has like a controlling interest in Disney, I think.
Yeah. He didn't like it though, didn't he? He's like, it wasn't.
No.
I don't know.
From what I heard, he gave them a story treatment, and they didn't like it and went their own way, and he was pretty ticked.
Yeah, whatever. He had his chance.
He had his chance. He sold it.
What else happened? Oh, yeah. The big spoiler, which we won't spoil because everyone knows it, but if they don't, we won't spoil it here. But saw it coming a mile away. Even if I was spoiled. Like I watched it on Blu-ray because the library finally got it in. I didn't go to see it in the theater. I'm guessing it's a lot more exciting in the theater with the whole sound speakers and loud and bright and zoop, 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 lasers. Just at home, it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's a fun movie. But yeah, saw it coming. Like, how could you not see it coming? Yeah, Star Wars. More on the way. Should be good.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the very end, but that dude was coked out of his head. He's just like, what? This is where you've been this whole time? The galaxy's falling apart. He's just like standing on some cliff, just like that.
I'm sure he's got a good reason, and I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, I'm okay.
No.
I'm a fan of big, long reaction shots where it just sticks on someone's face and you get to explore every line on his face.
I felt every moment of that too because, again, don't want to tease it or whatever. I don't know. I guess it's past due if you ask me. But anyway, the whole movie, I'm like, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's like I was thinking to myself. I actually tried to look at my wife. I was like, if they end this movie right now, I'm gonna flip. So then they cut to her climbing the cliffs and all this stuff, and it's like then they hit that shot and everything kind of spins, and I was just like, that was fantastic. I walked out of that theater like floating. So worked for me.
If he's so important, why? Like, really? He just runs away? I know the thing happened with the.
We don't even know what happened there.
And,
pretty bad.
Well, there was the slaughtering of the things because the thing did the betrayal to the other things. This is me trying to dance.
But why did he betray him? Why?
Because the dark side of the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Skylanders Swap Force. I bought a bunch of those figures. They're all over the place, and I actually wanted to actually play the game a bit. Played it. I haven't beat it yet. It's good. I like that you can. Skylanders. I like that you can use your old figures in the newer games. More of the same though. They added jumping. You can never jump before. More of the same. It's fun. Cool character designs. You level up. Kind of has a Gauntlet Legends feel to it. One interesting thing I noticed is that the game isn't without difficulty. You can get your characters knocked out. Like you might think, oh, it's a stupid kids game, which it somewhat is, but there is gameplay there. But depending on how many of these little figures you have, like the difficulty is almost irrelevant because you can just keep putting new characters on. So you have as many lives per level as you want to spend your money on.
I think so. I was just gonna say, but you got to keep buying them.
Yeah.
That's the trick. Is that the one that has like Donkey Kong and
No.
Bowser in it? No, that's the.
That's the current one. I don't know. I haven't been buying new games at all lately. It's kind of
Spending
a
all that
relief.
money on the bots.
Yeah, man. Transformers. Look at this guy. Look at this.
Transformer hype.
Got this Gears guy. He's from the new movies. Normally we shy away from those MBA bots, but some of these designs are pretty legit. This guy's cool, clean transformation. I got it for $4 at Value Village. Yeah. Some of them are shit though, and then they're missing arms. And like I couldn't tell because they're in those baggies.
I want to find you a Cheetor arm so bad. I don't know why.
Dude.
Cheetor.
I'm having fun taking arms off of other Transformers and putting them on this one Cheetor robot. I'm having a blast. Beast Wars? Why is that on my list? I will say not Beast Wars, but Beast Machines.
Do you mean Beasties?
Yeah, that too. That's how Canadians will always remember that show.
That's how I remember it. I watched that show. I watched that and Beast Machines when they were on the air live. Like when I watched both of them.
Now I'm glad you're here, Bill, because Bill is known for watching TV. Lots of TV now in the present and in the past. Were you inundated with Beast Wars?
No, I don't think so. And I was turned off by the very thought of it, so I just stayed away. Yep. Got Transformers. That's it. Transformers.
I think it's a generational thing because I'm sure I've heard Joe mention this as well. We know Joe loves his G1, but I know when he and M mentioned like Optimus Primal becoming a masterpiece figure, they just kind of laughed at us like, we won't be buying that. And then went on to their next topic. I think Beast Wars like my generation, maybe mine or maybe even a bit younger. Probably speaks to them a lot more.
90s, right? Something like that. Was 96 or 98 or?
Yeah, around there. Beast Machines that I've been watching on this DVD. Came out in 1999. It's got that music that came out. It's like techno, early techno. Like, remember the Matrix soundtrack? It's got that kind of music.
Yep.
That very distinct, like, time capsule in
It's
music
like actual
film.
techno.
Yeah. And they keep
Sounds like
reusing this one
garbage.
theme. Now, this is a... there you go. This is a show that is kind of... People kind of hated it. And I figured maybe as an adult I can appreciate it more, and I do. It's not bad. This actually is depressing sci-fi. We might mention it again later, but it's not bad.
It's a weird show.
Yeah.
It takes a weird turn.
Yeah.
The whole Megatron thing.
Everything that happened in Beast Wars kind of gets turned around. Basically, the good guys win, but then the start of this one, the bad guy wins, and now the good guys, like every episode, they're pretty much running away from the bad guy drones because Megatron kind of takes over the entire planet of Cybertron. That's not good. Not good at all.
No.
Interesting though,
Whatever.
because it's this weird thing where they wanted to make mix of robots and organics, and kind of gets like the Borg.
Didn't
You guys
land.
know the Borg?
That's the fact. I mean, it didn't do well. Beast Wars did well, regardless of what people think about it. I think it did. Like, it probably had like 5 seasons.
Mm.
But,
Yeah.
and what did Beast machines have? Like 2, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's about right. 2 seasons. Yeah, but it's cool. I'm enjoying it. It's on my watch list right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost ready to take our recess for washrooms. I will mention Game of Thrones briefly. For those of you who watch my YouTube channel and have been wondering what happened to the Game of Thrones episodes, live stream discussions. All my friends Dean and Darren. Dean, he was in them, but then he decided to go gallivanting to Ontario for a while, and he missed a couple of weeks from what we discussed. And Darren has been dealing with a lot of schoolwork lately. And no one else volunteered to be in any episodes. Kevin, I don't know what's going on with Kevin. We talk about busting chops. We were busting chops about it before because he said he wasn't invited. He was on some of the episodes for last season, but I mentioned it several times. I never heard back from him. Anyways, whatever. I almost wanted to do it by myself. I don't know. I kind of like not doing it too because it's just like whatever. Game of Thrones is on. Yeah, end of the weekend. Game of Thrones. And it's just like I don't want to do anything. I don't want to make notes or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good season. We were talking with Bill before this that there will be no mention of anything because you mentioned a name on Game of Thrones and suddenly that's a spoiler. But enjoyable. More of the same, I guess. Looking forward to see what happens next. And finally, I was recently at the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo, which Dean was not at, despite him basically being like a roll down a mountain, and there he is in Vancouver, but whatever. Fitnat was there. He claimed I ditched him. See, the problem with that is he was there at the show, Fitnat also being a member of the Cartridge Club group.
Mm-hmm.
He got there a lot sooner than I did because I was just there for the day. This was an event. You can go. There are videos of it on my channel here. We can see a huge hall of just games, art, local wares, and all this stuff, events, tournaments, all that stuff. Really cool time. Yeah, so I met with Fitnat. We shopped a bit. He spent like an hour trying to get like a discount on one instruction manual. It was I don't know, Fitnat. You'd like that, Bill.
I would never do that.
It was like the West Coast Bill. So we were there for a while, and he's like, I'm going to go get a pizza slice. I'm like, okay. Problem is, he had no idea where this pizza slice place was, so he's walking me around the block a couple times. For anyone who's never been to New Westminster, it's on a big hill, so you're walking up a hill. Like, every block is up a hill. It's really weird. This whole little city thing is on a big hill.
Mm.
So we're walking around the block. I'm like, Fitnat, do you know where this place is? He's like, I thought it was right here. No, it's not right here. So we're walking around, and I'm like, okay, well, ask someone. Maybe they know where it is. So we go back to the Retro Gaming Expo show. He talks to someone. I thought he figured it out. We do another walk around the block. He still doesn't know where it is. Like, you just asked where this pizza slice place was. We're lost. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's just go into this Tim Hortons, and you can buy these things that I brought for you, these Transformers and Super Return of the Jedi, which is where I recorded that video that I added in my pickups video. And then he wanted to go to this thrift store. I'm like, okay, we'll take a look real quick. And he's there for like 50 minutes looking over. There's nothing there. It's just, no, it's not worth the time. So then I go back to the show, and then he says I ditched him, and then he leaves in a huff. And I'm like, no, okay, whatever. If you want to go to this Transformers place, you can. If not, and he didn't. So that's my FitNat story. Otherwise, great to see you, FitNat, and thank you for buying my extra Transformers and Super Nintendo game. And we'll probably see him next year. Otherwise, super cool event, and I would recommend anyone on the West Coast or near the West Coast to give it a shot. It is only one day. I know that is an issue for some people, but I had a good time. I would have liked to have spent more money and more time there, but, you know, I was trying to be responsible, and I am actually running low on cash right now, so maybe I spent just enough.
What was the admission to get in there?
Now, $20. That's a lot of money. I got in for free because I asked for a press pass, and I'm a big deal like that. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna go if I wasn't offered that.
No big deal.
Yeah,
Jeez.
no big
Press
deal.
pass.
There you go, Bill. You want your wheeling and dealing? Ask for press passes at your Prairie shows and Waterloo shows.
Call up Podge.
Mm.
Podge, I want the press pass.
Yeah.
We'll do a show.
We have like the local toy shows in town. Those are like $5 again, and then whatever, that's fine. $20 though, it's a bit much. Cool venue though, lots of space, good lighting. The last time I was there, they were in this old theater. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't really get. You know, you got a cartridge. You want to look it over, make sure everything's how you like it. You couldn't do that in that lighting that they had back then. But yeah, good times, good times. I did a bit of shopping at the flea market there. I'm looking forward to going back there again. We don't really have flea markets in Victoria, unfortunately. Checked out Ages 3 and Up, which is a Transformers and Robots third-party store. Expensive but awesome store. I'll definitely look forward to checking them out again soon too. Next time I'm on the mainland. All right, good. I am wrapping up. What you been playing? What you been watching? Which means it's time for our break, our recess, where we can use the washroom, get a drink, what have you. And when we come back, we will discuss our main topic, which is depressing sci-fi. So, for those listening to this edited audio form, please enjoy this music I will now add. Otherwise, those of you watching live, we're just going to leave it running. And we'll be back in a few minutes. See you in a bit.
See you in a sec.
Cool. All right. This is our recess, so like I said, I don't know to use the washroom. Now's the time. If you don't, let me know. We can get right back to it. I'm going to use the washroom.
Take the mic in the washroom.
Okay. That's what everyone wants to hear. Oh, it's Yoshi. Yoshi. Boop. Lexie says, oh, it's Austin. Austin. Should we call in Austin? I wonder if Austin wants to be on the show.
Call in Lexie. She's been here from the beginning.
Well, it's still live. We could ask them if they want to join in.
Lexie, time to get famous.
To join in the discussion. Keep an eye on the live feed there. I'll be right back.
Yep. Exciting stuff. Mm-hmm. Baby duties, yep, in there. Know what you're talking about. Lexie, we were talking to you. You can come on board if you want.
I'm back. Let's see. What about I have baby duties?
Yeah, Lexie needs a link to get in here.
Oh,
If she has a
crap.
microphone on her laptop, or
Do you have a set and access to Google Hangouts? Everyone's still good on time? No one's got any pressing baby matters that may have come up?
No, kid's still sleeping.
Nope.
Sleeping away.
Yes. I have a headset. I don't know Google Hangouts. Let me check.
Oh, did the new Voltron come out today? It did.
Is that Netflix?
Yeah.
Nice.
just send her the link. If she clicks on it, it should click through to something.
Yeah, she's just checking to see if she has access to it.
Everybody does.
I can send you the link for the discussion via Twitter.
She's listening to you right now.
I know.
Don't need to type.
It's fun. This is for anyone watching the outtakes. This is the raw segment where anything can happen. So when I was in the washroom, I decided I was going to add in the Beast Machines intro music.
Perfect.
That's one problem with the, like you said just a bit ago, is that I would like to put the edited version on the YouTube as well, but then I often put in like licensed music, and they probably wouldn't like that.
No, that would not fly.
Gonna
When we
be-
do live like commentaries for movies sometimes on the Sausage Factory, and if somebody's volume is too loud and it goes through into the thing, they hit us for copyright.
Doesn't take much.
Doesn't take
Oh,
much.
it's super dark on camera. The dark side of the force right here. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Yeah. I have this weird semblance of still a civilized home. Like this couch, I don't need this couch. It's just one of those goofy gamer seats. Just like a desk. That's all I need. Okay. Well, we'll send Lexie the link, and if she can join. Cool beans. What is the link? I lost it. Hold on. And then we'll be back. Does your guys' Google Hangouts, is that open in its own window as well?
Its own tab, yeah.
Yeah.
Why does it do that? Okay. So, Twitter message. Let's see. Next. And there you go. So she has the link. Whether or not she joins. Otherwise, these notes make no sense. These notes I carry around at work. Those thoughts coming to my head. Or videos or what have you. They're just kind of all over the place. Ugh, I gotta figure out if I want to get a new smartphone or not. Do a pay-as-I-go thing, I don't know.
I didn't want to get a new one. My wife got me one.
Yeah. I hate the contracts, and they force you to have a certain amount of a plan per month. It's like you have to spend at least $60 a month on your plan. So annoying. Otherwise, pay $500. This computer that'll just break if you drop it because it's too fancy. Okay, she said she'll be here in a few minutes. So I'm going to start recording for audio. All right, we are recording again. Goodness. And we're back. So I decided I would add the Beast Machines theme song right into that little recess. So if you've been wondering what that music was, now you know. Kind of catchy song. I guess it grows on you. I kind of like the original one more though. They're both okay. They're very 90s, that music. Anyways, we're back and we are ready for our main topic of depressing sci-fi. Yeah, during the recess we were chatting with Lexie in the chat, who might be joining us for the rest of the Hypecast. So we'll see. She has the link to the show, so she might be popped in any moment. Otherwise, we're going to get going. So, dudes, what's going on with this sci-fi? Why is sci-fi always so depressing?
I never thought of it that way until you brought it up.
Yeah. I made you think about it.
Yeah.
Like it's actually I've noticed like in regards to books and novels and stuff like that, it seems like a lot of people are kind of getting sick of it. Because I mean, this is for, as far as back, if you think back to the 70s and 60s when they've been making sci-fi movies, they're always depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Same with books. It's like, yeah, I joked about it earlier. I was like, why aren't there more flying cars and stuff like that? Why is the future not look so nice and stuff like that? Why is everything so damn bleak? I guess it's kind of a play on our own mindsets, I guess, or something like that. But
I don't know. They're almost always based on books, right? Like we've got a list of assorted shows and movies and whatnot. I think most of the time they're based on books. Sometimes comics, but like it goes far back. Like one was 1984, 1986? I never remember. But that was written when the 40s or 50s or something.
yeah, when was 84 written? Jeez.
4. I can't remember what year that was. Yeah, there you go. 1984. A novel by George Orwell.
49, yeah.
Yeah, damn, like that's far back, but that is some depressing goddamn sci-fi right there.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. I think many would argue that's the most depressing, honestly.
Pretty darn depressing.
Yeah.
We will get to it pretty quick, but I've got THX 1138, which is very similar in feel.
Yep.
Now, what I've done.
A little bit of that.
What I've done for my list here is that we've broken it down into 3 sections, where is quote-unquote modern day, where it's still science fiction-y, but, it could happen today, quote-unquote. Then we got future, where the things you see there can't happen today because we don't have access to those certain things. And then you got the third one, future in space. Yeah.
I love it.
Where it's like, Earth, get out of here.
Space is the most depressing place, apparently.
Apparently.
Of all time.
No good can come from going into space, it would seem.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start with 1984. Why is it on my list? Who wrote this list up?
I don't know.
There you go.
I guess
1984.
it's kind of future, though, I think. But
Yeah, it's almost. I guess it's past future.
It's hard to nail that one down. I know it is future based in the book, but it almost feels like it's timeless. It's such a bleak, awful world. I know there is, futuristic elements, Big Brother watching you and all that stuff, and like kind of the setting in that, but it almost doesn't matter that it's set in the future. It's just so awful.
Maybe it's 1984's fault. Maybe that's the trendsetter for the rest of it.
Well, I mean, I guess if you think about it, if you're going to put together a story, a movie, TV show, comic book, or whatever like that, and you're trying to do something futuristic, it's a little harder to make it compelling maybe if you're like, everything's raindrops and rainbows and beautiful and wonderful. So it's a little easier to sell the dystopian kind of future or whatever. That's sort of easier to push forward tension and story and stuff like that. So I think that's probably why it's almost in a way the easy way, to make that kind of a story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just look at Game of Thrones. Would we care if it weren't super depressing all the time? I doubt it.
I mean, I think that series, I don't really, I tried reading the first book and couldn't really get into it. I tried watching the show. I maybe watched 2 episodes and I couldn't get into it because I feel like the thing that sells it is almost the fact that it's like, well, not even so much depressing as it's like, who's gonna die next? Who knows? You know what I mean? I feel like oftentimes that's what and I hear people talking about it at the office and stuff like that. And that seems to me, being on the outside, that seems to be what they're always wondering. Who's gonna die next? And I never really got into it myself, but that that depressing kind of world seems to speak to us. I don't know why.
Yeah. We all kind of feel it too, like climate change. That's super depressing. It's coming true.
Mhm.
Fucking climate change. Those baby boomers, what assholes. They're
Ruin the
just
planet
yucking
up.
it up with their muscle cars back in the day and their malts, their chocolate malts and their drive-ins and their drag races. All
Damn,
the
I
while
wish I
they're
was a
just
baby boomer, man.
destroying.
That sounded awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
They're
I
just
want a malt.
destroying the environment. And now they're old people. And you know what? Old people love warm weather. I think they planned this right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Now the rest of us have to deal with this.
Why go to
Heat.
Florida when you can make
Make everywhere Florida.
everywhere Florida?
Perfect. Old people love heat. We got this one guy in my workplace. So you use the if you use the tap, like the washroom faucet. After he does, it's always blazing hot because his hands are cold. Because they're always cold because he's old. Man, that thing is hot. It's like Richard. Anyways, 1984. It wasn't on the list, but I've got it open on Google here. Like it says, 2 + 2 is 5. Big Brother, Ministry of Truth, and Doublethink. Now, like, damn, those are all super depressing if you've read the book or seen the movie.
Yep.
Remember that one time on Star Trek Next Generation when the Cardassians had Picard trapped, and then it was like, there are 5 lights.
Oh yes,
For sure.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. There are 4 lights. Yeah, that was awesome. Good times.
Yeah, I mean, it plays on even today. That's why the book is, so resoundingly popular and still resonates today. Is, I mean, if you look at the world we're going into with politics and stuff like that, I can't believe. I mean, every day I think about it, I'm sitting there scratching my head. We could live in a world where Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump are in a room together, planning, making plans for our countries, and it just blows my mind. I just can't even deal with it.
Yeah, America's basically becoming Back to the Future too.
It's getting
that is Biff.
Mm-hmm.
Same hair and everything. The word speak was a really cool idea in 1984. This notion where the vocabulary is too big and it's giving people independent thoughts. So what we'll do is we'll shrink down the language as much as possible. And that's kind of happening nowadays, like with the internet, like JK, LOL, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty spooky.
Definitely.
That's the thing is, these dudes, these depressing sci-fi people, they're all pretty much on point.
A lot of the big science fiction writers, and I mean science fiction, not just sci-fi, they were definitely prophetic in a lot of the stuff that they came up with, over the years. It's pretty unbelievable when you go back and look at some of this stuff, especially Orwell.
But that's not really sci-fi, so let's move on. Now, I do have Elfenlied in here. I know Darren from the Gaming Pilgrimage loves Elfenlied.
He loves it?
He loves
so depressing.
it. No, he hates it, but I hope he hears me claim that he loves it. Once again, not really sci-fi, but man, this is an anime where it's like these cute girls with pink hair who just happen to have a mutant power of spooky ghost arms that can come out of their backs or something.
Yeah, tear everyone apart.
It's literally child abuse, the anime.
It really is.
Because they have this weird extra mutant power, the humans that know of them keep them trapped in this huge facility and do these life-threatening experiments on them. And it's kind of a spoiler, but in the end you find out that the reason these girls tend to kill humans who don't have the power is not because they're evil psycho bitches. It's because humans were assholes to them when they were little kids themselves. And because of discrimination and all that, they kind of just got so sick of it. And then they had these weird, spooky anime arms that they could, cut people's heads off with because they're just, fast paper knife invisible arms. So people just die and you don't know what's going on. Why is that guy died? Because he was mean to that little girl. Damn, that show is depressing. There's people getting their arms and legs cut off, and there's people dying in every episode. They're making people cry. People are crying in every episode of that show. It's super cool. Darren's an idiot if he doesn't like Elfenlied.
That one actually falls into, they call it, I think it's transgressive or something like that, where it's ultra-violent for ultra-violence sake. It's imagery. I mean, there's one scene where there's this naked girl just walking around holding up a decapitated corpse as a shield while she's like slicing people up, and you're just sitting there like, I can't even believe I'm watching this. But that's the idea behind it, is it's just ultra violent for
And
the
that's
sake of
the
being
first
ultra violent.
episode.
That's the first episode, yeah. So it's almost not like we have it in brackets here. It's almost not depressing. It's almost just like borderline vulgar in a lot of ways, but
so
it
cool.
kind of fits, I guess.
Super cool show. If you like depressing animes, oh boy.
It's in there.
Oh, Bill has no idea. Okay.
No idea what you're talking about.
Thank you for being here.
Not something you want to watch anyway.
There you go. So, I have that. I don't know who's writing that in, but it's here somewhere. It's in the Asma that my home is.
It's people.
Okay, take it away. Tell us a bit about Soylent Green, which I have right here.
Nice. Wow, that's got to be a depressing outlook. Soylent Green for sure.
Well, take it away because I haven't seen the movie in years, so I didn't want to add it.
Well, it's been a couple of years for me, but another great Charlton Heston performance. That's all you got to know.
He did a couple of good, like, depressing sci-fi movies, really. Soylent Green. Did he do a version of Omega Man or whatever?
Yeah, the Omega Man.
Yeah. And I guess Planet of the Apes kind of falls in there a little bit.
Kind of. It's kind of awesome, though. Sometimes these
More
things
fantasy, I guess. But.
are meant to be depressing, but they're just awesome. What an opportunity. Oh, hey, it's Lex. Lexie, can you hear us? I can see the thingy there, but we can't hear her. Oh.
I heard her.
Okay, we have a special guest to replace Brazzle the Gamer. Lexie, can you hear us? Nope, you just muted yourself. Okay, are you back? You're here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yay!
Well,
Yay.
welcome to the CAPMAX HYPECAST. This is Lexie FM.
Thank you.
Long-time watcher or listener, first-time guest. Thank you for joining us on such short notice. Before we continue, by all means, if you want to pimp out your Twitter handle or your YouTube channel, by all means.
Okay, do I just say it or like put it in the
Let her rip.
chat?
Nope. Right here.
Oh, say it?
Yeah. We're live. And I'm not cutting anything.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so my Twitter handle is Lexie_FM. So Lexie, because I spell it weird, _FM. My YouTube channel is Lexie FM. Again, Lexie FM. So just remember that how I spell Lexie is not Lexi, it's Lexie.
Yeah.
Lexie.
All right.
Sure. I just started following.
Yep, there you go. Well, thank you for being here. Apologies for not helping you with your Dex the Swede video. I've just
That's
been
fine.
busy. I'm a busy.
That's okay. A
depressed
lot of people
adult
didn't.
man.
So,
Yeah.
like to be perfectly honest, including myself, I only got 12 people. I was expecting
good.
like 2.
Mm-hmm. On Lexie's YouTube channel, she just recently uploaded a happy birthday video compilation to the YouTuber Dex the Swede, who does like if anyone out there has seen the Peanut Butter Gamer YouTube channel, it's a lot like that. A lot of like quick edits and goofy faces and.
I always say if you're into people like Peanut Butter Gamer, JonTron, Game Grumps, Pro Jared, or Brennel Floss, you'll like Dex the Swede.
There you go.
Cool.
In fact, CAPMAX, we actually met via Dex this week. I forget exactly how, like through Twitter, maybe. I don't know if it was through his Twitch.
I almost want to say it was during a live stream or something. I don't know.
Because I was going to say, like, I don't think it was through Twitter or through Twitch.
It all kind of blends together.
It was through Twitter. Yeah, it kind of does.
No, like 1984's words.
Oh.
Just bringing it back. All right, well, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
We were talking. We're currently. You don't have access to the show planner, but that's okay. Before we continue, do you have any Any what you've been playing, what you've been watching? Do you want to bring up?
Well, I just recently got back into Sonic Generations for the Xbox 360.
No, that's
So,
depressing too. I want to like that
I
game.
have Secret Rings 2 for the Wii, so
Yeah, man,
could always be worse.
that is a depressing future right there.
But like in
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic Generations is a good game. It has a good soundtrack and good
Yeah.
backstory.
Some interesting remixes. It just makes you want to play the original games that those levels are based on, though.
But in terms of like when you say watching, do you mean like watching on the internet?
TV.
Like what games I've been watching on the internet?
You've seen the show, like just whatever you feel like giving a shout out to, and want to just run.
None of you. I think probably none of you are going to know what American Ninja Warrior is, but
Oh
that
yeah,
just
you
started up, and I got into watching that.
Mm-hmm. I have
Like
seen
again with the backstory, like here's my opinion on it. It's shit, but a good backstory. Like for me, the host just ruined it. But like in terms of, yeah. So that, but like I just got done today watching a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney gameplay.
Okay.
It was actually pretty cool.
I've never played any of those games, and they intrigue me. Have you played any of them, or?
I've never played them, but again, like they just seem so cool.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but I generally liked what I saw.
I got one of, like, I think I got a knockoff kind of version. What was it called? Like Dr. Lowtrack or something like that. It was like a...
Oh yeah, the 3DS.
Yeah, I picked that up for cheap on the 3DS. I found like a sales bin, and I was like, oh, I'll give this one a shot. And I was like, no, this isn't doing it for me.
Nice.
But
I had Professor Layton in A Curious Village growing up, and that was pretty much the closest thing to Phoenix Wright that I got to play as a little kid.
Yeah, well, that's good too. That is a good game for kids too.
Yeah.
Puzzles, making you
like-
think.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden I want to play the Professor Layton Phoenix Wright crossover.
Ooh, there you go. I haven't seen that in stores though. There was a physical copy, right? I
I
can't remember.
think so.
probably.
Have you
Those
guys
games are
seen
pretty
that?
popular.
There's a
Let's
Professor
look
Layton.
it up.
There's a Professor Layton webcomic where it's like,
Professor Layton.
Professor Layton webcomic? Like
yeah.
legit, or just something?
No, it's just like some
Crossover.
Banjo thing where he's like, Professor Layton's just trying to cross a river, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, can you send the bridge across?" And the guy's like, "I have
Oh
full
my gosh.
matchstick." He's like, "Fuck you!" Everything you do in
remember
that game
in-
requires a puzzle. Just let me cross.
I
the
remember
fucking
back
road.
in Curious Village, there was this puzzle where you had to get 3 wolves and 3 chicks across the river,
Mm.
but you could not put more wolves than chicks because then the wolves would eat the chick or the chicks. Like if you had 3 wolves, 2 chicks, you can do that. It is solvable. I just forget how. Like you can do it
That's
in.
okay.
I remember like something like that in school. It was kind of like you had to like draw it on paper or something like that. I think I remember something like that.
Yeah, they did that in an episode
my
of.
age. What's that?
They did that in an episode of The British Office.
Did they? Okay, there you go.
That's awesome. That's only one season, right? British Office.
No, 2 or 3 plus a Christmas special.
Okay.
Maybe 2 and a Christmas special.
Oh, by the way.
Wouldn't mind checking that one out.
Oh, by the
I-
way.
I like the American one. What's that?
By the way, guys, I found it. Nintendo.com. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. $30.
$30. Physical? Or just
I think so.
cool?
Zelda in the chat here says there is indeed a physical copy.
There you go.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's get back on topic. Now, who was bringing up Soylent Green? That was you, Bill?
Yeah, I threw it out there.
Okay. All right, we are back on track. So tell us a bit more about Soylent Green. I know the gist of it, the end, the big reveal. It's like a big Twilight Zone episode, but
Yeah, I guess so. Heston is like a detective or something in a future that is very bleak, and no one has any money and barely any food, but everyone lines up to get this Soylent Green all the time. And I think there's a murder or something he's trying to solve, and I forget how that ties into it, but yeah, then the big reveal comes at the end, and yeah, it's great.
Well, I'm certainly seeing themes that we will be discussing, and we already have started. I've got the case right here. Charlton Heston portrays Thorne, a detective prowling the dank streets of a polluted, overpopulated Big Apple gone rotten in 2022. Oh, we're getting there. He's trailing the murderer, and the trail leads to a stunning discovery, which is, of course, the big secret of Soylent Green. And that's pretty much all it says. That's where his story goes. That's cool. Sounds a bit like Blade Runner, actually.
It does, but it's more like I think you get more of a vibe in Soylent Green that like the Earth's dying. We're on the way out.
Should note that Edward G. Robinson is in it. I think it might have been his very last role too, and he's just incredible. I think I remember hearing he was actually deaf. Like his hearing had completely gone by the time he played this role, and he was suffering from cancer at the time. Wow. He couldn't hear Heston to respond to lines. He just kind of looked at the lips kind of thing, and his performance is awesome considering everything he was going through.
Well, he was in a lot of movies like that.
Yeah, it even mentions on the back here Planet of the Apes and Omega Man. That's cool. Well, I'll bump this up on my watch list. My interest is piqued.
Put that on the giant pile in behind you. That's about to topple over. There you go.
Don't get buried in it, dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
Eventually, someday.
Someday.
That's how I want to go.
Under a pile of stuff.
There you go. Allergies, no. Okay, it's good. I have a theory, and I dare anyone to prove me wrong. I think every movie from the 80s is in the same universe. I think it's all happening on the same planet. They all meld together so well. Like I've got The Running Man and RoboCop on the list here. I mean,
I'd like to think that they're in the same world.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Like that's practically happening right at the same time.
Like the whole thing with Killian and Running Man, the home version. That totally lines up with. I'd buy that for $1. They could be on the same. I can get behind this.
They're all connected.
Yeah.
They've made them connect, like with Aliens and Predator. Like they put this peanut butter and jelly, and I got it. Let's do this.
Makes sense.
Total Recall is out here. It's further down. Yep, that's happening in the same universe. Like I could see RoboCop being like he's in Detroit. Maybe Running Man happens in Miami or something. Like there's not a RoboCop in every town. You gotta make do. Okay, so I've got Lane. That's another enemy. Serial Experiments Lane. Now this is a very, very specific depression because it's about this girl, right? And she's like, "Hey, computers, what the hell?" But then she learns how to use computers, and she gets really good at using computers to the point where at the end she's kind of like sucked into computers and becomes like Cyber Jesus. I don't know if you've seen Lane. Is that kind of what's happening there?
It's kind of like it's been a while since I watched that one too, but it opens up with a student I think commits suicide at her school. She's just kind of getting into computers, and she gets an email from the dead student.
Yeah.
And then it goes from there, and what you find out is like you can exist on the internet without a body. You can like almost upload. It's kind of Matrixy, I guess. So you can upload your. It's It definitely fits in the depressing well. That's for sure.
Like throughout
Very
this whole
very dark.
She just gets further and further isolated from the rest of the world around her. At one point, there's aliens. There's some weird little episodes where it's like, I don't know. You don't know what's happening the whole time.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
It is cool.
It is a good show. Again, it's been a long time, but it's very cyberpunk, which I love cyberpunk stuff. So it falls into that really well. And,
all right.
I love that it starts with her dad buying her computer, and she has no idea what's happening. And then, like, a few episodes down, she's got like water coolers everywhere, and she's just in her underwear because it's too hot otherwise. Because all these computers in her room, like, how, like, where'd the money come from? And weird, wild stuff. All right, back on something Bill might understand. Running Man. So once again, we're experiencing a future where a lot of people, a lot of trouble.
We're almost at the Running Man, really. Like if you think
Pretty
about
much.
you know, what do they call it? Like shows like The Bachelorette and all these things. You know,
Well,
we're
Lexie
one
mentioned
step away
American
from
Ninja
killing
Challenge.
somebody on TV.
The Running
Forever.
Man show is kind of American Ninja Challenge.
Yeah, there you go. Only people actually die.
Close enough.
Yeah. Except
Yeah.
mixed with some American Gladiators and Smash TV.
Well, these survival shows too. That Alone on the History Channel, where they're out on the West Coast trying to survive with bears and cougars and all that stuff. Everyone's waiting to see a bear attack.
Someone's gonna die, and then we're gonna have the Running Man. It's gonna hit the air, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, I saw that!" And then all of a sudden, yeah, American Ninja Warrior is gonna go to a death blow.
I can see it.
We're
There's
this close, I'm telling you.
overpopulation, man. There's billions of people. Once someone's like, if we killed a few people on air, these ratings, though.
Speaking of prophetic writers, there you go, Stephen King. He wrote The Running Man, I think, in like a weekend when he was so drunk and stoned he doesn't remember doing it.
I mean, let's be real. Who wouldn't watch The Running Man?
I'd watch The Running Man, absolutely, especially if he had
watch it.
Sub-Zero.
Now, play.
Now Plane Zero.
Oh, Arnold. Could you imagine the 80s without Arnold? I don't want to live in that world.
I know,
That's
don't even talk
depressing.
about that.
Oh, man. Such a cool
Just
movie.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, no Arnold.
No!
Don't even.
There was some
Predator
movie
would
or
not have been the
something
same movie.
where, I want to say it might have even been Sliders, where they imagined the world where Sylvester Stallone had a lot of roles that Arnold did. It's like, no.
Well, they touched on it in
This is
what was that
weird.
movie called? Last Action Hero. In Last Action
Yes,
Hero,
yeah, that was
Arnold
it.
Schwarzenegger's, and yeah, so he sees
like-
Sly as Terminator.
Yeah. It's so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. Running Man though, super cool. But yeah, not a good situation.
We're almost there though. Running Man is really, I think it's really topical. We're almost there.
Like the dude, Arnold's character, he's sent into this sadistic game show because he was ordered, like he was in his cop attack chopper because people were riding in the streets for food because it's the future and there's never any food. There's not enough food, too many people. It's the end of the world, and they're like, too many people, open fire. And he's like, no, those are innocent people. They just need food. That's a bad impression. And then he doesn't do it. But then his cop buddies knock him out, and they do it. And then they massacre those people. And then they put say it was Arnold who did it anyways, and it's like no. And then they mess with the cameras, make it look like it was him, and oh man, poor Arnie.
I mean, we're talking cheesy as it gets. This movie is
So cool.
it's fantastic. I absolutely adore it. But like we just made a couple of comments on some of the quotes. They're pretty cheesy.
So
So
it's so cool. And look, in the stack.
there you go.
A game.
Richard
nobody
Dawson
survives.
in this movie.
Oh yeah.
He's got those suits.
Yeah.
Man, it is Smash TV too. It is.
I don't know. I sometimes think that I watch it more for the Killian scenes.
Mhm.
He's so great.
I'm glad I had these movies at hand. The year is 2019. Television is now ruling people's lives. Well, that's today already. I mean,
Yeah.
they knew. The most popular.
Same with the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're starting to blend though, TV and internet.
pretty much. Well, internet's taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion, TV will, or like the internet will one day kill television. I mean, if it hasn't already with Netflix and such.
Hmm.
You can watch Netflix on your TV.
Really?
Yeah, it's this convicts can win pardons instead of parting gifts by defeating murderous henchmen known as stalkers. It's super cool. It's basically a video game movie. If you like video games and you haven't seen The Running Man, get on it. Hypecast.
Got bosses.
Yeah,
They're all over the top.
Literally.
Like wrestling characters.
it's so
fantastic.
cool. It's got that monorail thingy where you zip down to get into the this game show, as they would call it, takes place in this abandoned city,
Mhm.
and then there's like resistance guys in the abandoned city. I don't know, whatever. Is Johnny Mnemonic in this list? Because it should be.
Oh man, Johnny Mnemonic.
That could happen in the same
Absolutely.
time.
Why not? Computers in our brains.
I'm gonna drop that in the list right now. J-O-H-N-N-Y.
Who remembers what his storage capacity was?
Oh man,
That's a Retro Fandango question.
I
It was
don't remember, but I want to take a
yeah,
guess.
attainable.
I want to take a guess at like 512 megabytes. But I'm gonna find it.
How do you spell mnemonic? Oh, it's with
MNEMONIC.
Thank you, spell check.
Canadian movie.
Yes.
Is it? Who wants
With
to drop
Keanu
a-
Reeves and Dolph Lundgren.
Nice. Is he the Cyber Jesus? Dolph Lundgren?
I guess you could sell that. Cyber Jesus. Cyber Jesus. Really want to find out. Do you know, Bill? Do you know the capacity on his
No.
brain? Or?
Can't remember.
Oh,
It was probably
Probably
giga something.
yeah,
Probably
you're probably
meg.
right. They're probably like, what's a gigabyte? I
Yeah.
don't understand.
We'll
Giga
never get that
quad.
far into the future. Gigabytes. I have that here too, so I don't know, whatever. Johnny Mnemonic, everyone's going to rolling through it. Feels like it would take place.
80 gigabytes. There you go.
What?
80
That's
gigabytes. Yeah.
Where would you place that in the every movie takes place in the same universe timeline? It feels like it would take place after RoboCop.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit future.
Yeah.
Although
Maybe,
it has the look and feel of Hackers. Lines in there pretty nicely. So I don't know.
it would be before Blade Runner, but not too far before because there's no flying cars.
Truth. Why are there not more flying cars? I mean, if it's the
No.
future,
I
put a flying car in there.
know.
I understand.
Where's my hoverboard?
I want to fly in a car in the open air.
We're supposed to have hoverboards by now. Even the Barbie one.
I'd take the Barbie one. Hell yeah.
No.
They
Well,
do have a
actually-
hoverboard. Have you seen that lame video with Tony Hawk? It's pretty lame.
Anyways, Johnny Mnemonic dude rents out his brain for storage capacity like a USB drive, but it's in his brain because they couldn't imagine having a USB drive because it's the past future, which is awesome.
Mm.
Once again, super grimy future. Everything's a junkyard. Kind of a... It's you don't have to see it. It's not super recommended. I watched it recently. It was okay. It does have some cool moments, like the Yakuza guy with like a whip coming out of his cut off finger because he's Yakuza. Remember, he's got that zing, zing. It's like a
Yeah.
laser.
Lightsaber whip.
Mhm. Or the aforementioned Cyber Jesus. That guy was pretty cool. Deus Ex. Johnny Mnemonic is a lot like Deus Ex.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Kind of like manipulated people or whatever.
Yeah, the augmented.
Augmented. That's the word I was looking for.
Perfect. It's in the list. RoboCop. Man, who doesn't love RoboCop?
RoboCop is a fucking classic. Pardon my French. I love that movie.
And it is so delightful.
And it is so yeah, it is. It's as depressing as it gets. It's,
Yeah. Once again, cops and robbers, not unlike the Running Man, but I want to say it's happening after Running Man though, just because of all the cybernetic parts. But
Yeah.
I would say it's before Johnny Mnemonic because it still feels very, very bulky. You know what I mean? Compared to Johnny Mnemonic, where the mech, everyone has their parts under the skin.
Mhm.
There were deep
Yeah.
thoughts on the CAPMAX Hypecast.
You're selling me on this, man. You're selling me on
Mnemonic, they would be salvaging RoboCop's parts.
this. Exactly.
Mm.
He'd be old tech.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I like this. Still, once again, in quote unquote modern day.
this is one of those that the crime has taken over.
Which would be
um,
inevitable in this future of not enough food,
Absolutely.
too many people. Can't
Exactly.
make a living.
Overpopulation. You can't get enough good cops. Everyone's just trying to get by.
Mm-hmm.
And you got these big city centers like Detroit, which is already again, it's topical.
Great.
Detroit's having hard
news.
times. And
It's Police Academy 3.
there you go.
Oh, dude, they get that sound guy as RoboCop.
That'd be a whole different movie. He would actually he would just go jerk, 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 and just walking around. That'd be fantastic. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I follow that guy on Twitter now because he retweeted something J-Rock sent to him. Shout out to
Nice.
J-Rock, the game rocker. Hold on, we got what's the name of the Police Academy guy? I'm gonna make that the title of this episode. Police Academy sound guy.
Oh, it's
Michael
it's right on the
Winslow?
tip of my tongue. Yeah, that's it.
Michael Winslow. Michael
Discovered-
Winslow as RoboCop. I'm
Discovered
calling
by
that-
Cheech and Chong, by the way.
That's our episode title. That is the best idea ever. Cheech and Chong.
Best ever, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Would watch again.
Ship it.
Yes, I ship that.
Before we do that, I'm just going to check out the chat real quick. Austin Clark was here. He has a new baby, so he has to deal with kids. Zelda
Aw.
is in the chat. Poltergeist. Ferris Bueller are in the same universe. I could see it. 10 out of 10 oral impression. Thank you very much, Zelda. Spell check is a wonderful thing, yes. And just have a USB port in the back of your skull. Dude,
Never really thought about it, but I guess he kind of played that character twice.
every time my phone does, I'm thinking, why isn't there
That'd
a
be
USB
awesome.
port in my skin? No, just suck
Oh,
it out of
that's-
me.
That's coming. Well,
It's
you
coming.
can't do that because you'd get the 90 gig USB drive in your arm, and then you got to get another one in 2 years.
I could do that. Well, just Trailer Park Boys it, just duct tape this thing to my arm. Or
Duct
practice-
tape. Okay, I can deal with duct tape.
Yeah,
That's the future of cybernetics. Duct tape.
perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. RoboCop depressing because man, that cop violence though,
It's wonderfully violent. That movie is ultra violent, which is great.
it's super cool.
Paul Verhoeven, the director of it, is just so crazy. It all comes together wonderfully, but it is so depressing because old Detroit is just a shithole, and you feel bad for this poor cop who's just a good guy that gets just completely shredded.
Mhm.
But it doesn't end on a depressing note because the good guy wins.
Mhm.
So but it is set in a pretty depressing kind of dystopian future.
It's almost more of a hero movie though. I mean that music.
Oh, absolutely. It's a superhero movie. I mean, they sold this
Yeah.
to kids. They had a
It starts
cartoon.
depressing.
They had action figures. They had video games and all that stuff. It's an adult movie that only adults could watch at the time, but totally marketed at kids. That's the kind of thing that sold back then, right?
Yeah, there's still hope in their timeline, as opposed to something like The Running Man, or Johnny Mnemonic, or THX. This future where it's like they've already kind of given up.
Yeah, they're just getting by.
RoboCop, he is a hero for the people. For
Mhm.
show.
No doubt.
That Ed 209, so fucking cool.
hmm
Remember that scene in RoboCop 2 when they're trying out the early models of Kane? There's that one robot who's got like the giant like red and blue lights on his shoulders and he just shoots everyone and then shoots himself.
Yeah.
And then there's the next one who just rips his own head off screaming.
That's one of the best things about the RoboCop movies is the kind of tongue-in-cheek humor that's kind of injected in it.
The
That's
darkest humor. It's
dark
so
humor,
cool.
but it lands pretty well.
So cool. Do you guys think The Fly should be in this list?
You know what? It's
It's-
depressing.
It's more
It's not
horror
like-
than sci-fi, but as far as modern day, it's
if you could put The Fly in, you could put in like The Mist. Have you guys seen The Mist?
I have seen The Mist.
The
I love
Mist
that
has
movie.
one of the most depressing endings I've
Yeah,
ever witnessed, ever.
That's so stupid.
It's so depressing. I remember watching that movie in theater, and I was just like,
I did too.
"Ugh."
It was so bad, but it was so cool.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
that. I
a
mean, the
great
whole
list.
movie isn't depressing. I don't know if it fits the list because it's just sort of a monster movie, like
Yeah.
almost a 50s monster movie up to that point. But that ending is just like brutal.
They're in that shopping mall for like a couple days, and they're
Yeah.
killing each other. There's so much food; they have nothing to worry about yet.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's more about people being awful to each other than it is the
It's
monsters.
It's so badly written, but it's so cool. Oh god.
Was that the movie where there's like weird tentacle shit coming out? of the
Oh yeah,
monster?
it's definitely
Okay.
yeah. There's some kind of a monster gets into the grocery store at one point. It's got tentacles and stuff.
Yeah, that's like a
Yep.
made-for-TV movie.
You know what I
the thing
love?
about it is that when it was released, when it was originally directed, I think Frank Darabont did it. He wanted it to be black and white because he wanted to kind of lean into that 1950s monster movie vibe. If you watch it in black and white, it doesn't look so hokey and ridiculous. But they put it out in color because they're like, no, we can't put out a black and white movie. So it looks very like Peter Benchley's The Beast. Like it could have aired on TV or something like that. It just looks like garbage.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
so it kind of takes away from it a little bit. But
yeah.
it's-
It's
the
more
ending is still
monster-based,
awful.
I know. You know what I like about the movies? That every time you see a monster, it's different from the last monster. They never reuse the monsters.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
Lovecraftian. It was like they tried to do every different kind of creature they could think of, I think.
Yeah. It's more monster-based. Same with The Fly, though. We're looking
Yeah.
more for, like, future-y stuff here. Same with, I was tempted to add The Thing to the list, but that's, once again, more monsters. Super cool. Maybe we'll do a monster episode sometime.
Yeah, and
That'd be cool.
I love The Thing. It's one of my favorites.
Good times, good times. All right. Now, the next thing I have on my list is the secret reason why this whole episode exists. So I can get Bill to discuss with me Lex.
Lex.
Where I even wrote up a synopsis of the Lex TV series for Bill's blog. Did we mention your blog?
Yeah, you can always mention it again. That's fine.
No, that's stcpod.com.
Yep, that's it.
Cool. I never
have
read blogs. I always forget about blogs even existing.
Hmm.
But there it is. I mean, if you want to read some blog,
Yeah,
have you
check it
done?
out.
Do you do much of the blogging, Bill, lately?
When I get a little bit of time, I might write something up. I have a running series on there called TV I Was Paid to Watch.
Right.
Because I work in television and I've been paid to watch certain crappy TV shows. Because I've worked at small independent TV stations in my past, and Lex was one of them. But I wanted to highlight this crappy little show called Lex, but I couldn't remember a thing about it except how bad it was and how hard it was to watch and sit through. So Steven was going on about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I reached out to you, man.
I
And
went
you,
through my Lex phase. I've watched them all now, by the way. All four
Watch
seasons.
them all.
It's all up in here now.
How many seasons is it? Sorry? How
Four
many did it run
seasons.
for? 4 seasons.
I
I
say-
watched the first season, I think, when it was on TV.
It's really
before
good.
they changed the blonde girl to the... Like, there was a redhead. I think they changed to a different character or whatever.
Different actor.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
No, this. I don't know. It's the segue between. Why is it? It feels like it shouldn't be this early in the list. What's going on here? I'm going
It's
back
more
to-
like space sci-fi, so it kind of bridges into that.
becomes
But
modern day because in the fourth season they go to Earth. So that's probably why I put it so
okay.
high up.
I always pictured it more like a space. They're just floating around in space.
Yeah.
who
It's
saw
not
it to
gonna
the 4th season?
Hmm?
Who else would have seen it all the way to the 4th season?
There you go. You know,
Only you.
Mr. Leahy he's in one episode as a security guard.
You know what? Actually, I was at a couple of years ago. I was at the movies here in Halifax, and I was standing in line waiting to get my ticket or something like that, and I realized that the guy that played Stanley Tweedle was standing in front of me.
What?
Brian Danny. He was in town for something. I think it might have been the sci-fi convention we have every year, HalCon. I can't remember if it was that or if he was there doing a movie or something, but he was standing in front of me, and I wanted to bring up Lex so bad. And I was just like, I don't know if this guy will kick the shit out of me.
No. That'd be
But,
awesome too,
that
but
would've been
no.
awesome.
I think he'd be
But-
down with it.
I think I just said hi to him or something like that, and he said hi back. He was a nice fella.
That's
I think he's from Newfoundland.
I can
Nice
see
guy.
that.
Yeah, but
It definitely has a Canadian feel to it.
that is a purely Canadian television series, definitely.
Canada-Germany co-production.
Oh yeah.
Fun to note, it becomes a Canada-UK co-production later on.
Ah.
But man, that is a depressing. Well, it should be in the future in space, but it's once again it's people, but they're on a different planet and they're literally living in boxes for most of their lives. Some people have actual jobs, some people are just raised in boxes to be love slaves and all that sort of thing. You
Isn't
don't
it
ever,
basically a love slave and a guy who couldn't get anybody to look at him twice, flying around like a flying dragonfly in space or something like that? It's
Yep.
just like, I mean, there you go.
well, it's
You wanna be
definitely it
depressed.
tries to be like a slutty, skanky show. It's one of the more sexy sci-fis out there. Once again, like as Bill said, it's pretty. It's how would you describe it, Bill?
It was all based on teasing sex. Like,
Yeah.
that's what drew you in. Was at some point you're going to see this girl do some sexy bits, but you never did. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was constantly teasing you.
It's a very unique idea. Like obviously, like I said, it's TNA, no doubt. But I like this idea where it's just like this base human need for sexual intercourse, and neither one of them can find them. Like it's almost a running gag in the series. That's like the love slave girl is always pining after this other guy who's an assassin, but he's also a zombie man because he's dead, and so he has no libido whatsoever. And then there's the other guy. Going on. It's almost like this weird Adam and Eve situation where they're the last people in the universe, but they just can't get it on. Because she hates his guts, but they're just existing together on this super powerful spaceship.
What was the deal with the spaceships? Why were they all insect-based?
It was cool. Cool design, I guess. Like the show Lex is named after the ship, the Lex, which is basically a gigantic like dragonfly that can fly through space. It has no wings, but it's just the body of a dragonfly. And it's also the greatest destructive force in the 2 solar systems. Or 2 universes, whatever they say, 2 galaxies.
Wow.
And they kind of just end up, like they're both, like neither one of them should have ended up in this most powerful ship situations that happened in the first few episodes in the first season, really. They kind of end up there. Like they kind of save the universe from this super evil entity. But they keep losing the ship. Like anyone can just get in there, and only one person can ever control it. But if you kill that person or help them reach the height of sexual ecstasy, then you can take the key to the Lex from them. It's fun show. Definitely more adult.
It's definitely unique.
Mm-hmm.
By the sounds of it, wow.
Like I said,
there's a lot of times I watched it.
The main captain guy who's kind of a coward and everyone hates him. He just wants to get laid. So every time they end up in a goofy situation, it's often because someone suggested that sex would be on this abandoned space station, so come visit us. And he's like, all right, let's go. And then trouble. Always the trouble. Or the girl who's the love slave, but also part reptile. She'll explore because she's kind of wild. And then trouble. Then there's that robot head. You guys remember Robot Head?
Yeah.
Fuck that robot head. Weird.
That's awful.
Yeah. It's budget. There's practically no budget. But it's super fun. Super campy sci-fi fun. It should be in Future in Space, but whatever. Alright, let's move on. Future.
That kind of, it just popped in my head now how it kind of relates to Red Dwarf. Did you guys ever watch Red Dwarf?
Yes, holy shit. I never, when you said the floating head, I thought of Red Dwarf for like a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Which really was a pretty depressing comedy.
It was great.
That was a great show, though. It was hysterical. I watched a lot of that for sure back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Lex, I can't. Where would we place it? I guess Future in Space, but it's not.
I think it's Future in Space myself. And you watched it more than I ever did.
Yeah, because. Oh, by the way, I would say Lex. I personally liked season 1 and 2, but beyond that, seasons 3 and 4, it becomes less Star Trek-ish, where they're just going on wacky space adventures, and they kind of focus around planets. These 2 fire and water planets, then eventually Earth in season 4. You don't really need seasons 3 or 4, but the first 2, I think, were pretty fun.
You had the DVDs?
No. I acquired the series.
Stolen.
Oh, okay.
I did want to buy the DVDs, but they're weird prices, and you know when DVDs release, and then they re-release later, and it's like a different style of box set, and it's kind of weird to mix and match, and I hate that.
Yeah, I seem to recall its early season. I think it aired on Showcase here in Canada, which was based on
show boobs.
Yeah, so did it actually show nudity?
A couple times.
Yeah.
You do see Zev's boobs. Maybe once. Maybe twice. Shower scene. Pretty hype. Stanley Tweedle does get laid in season 3.
There you go.
Good for him.
I think that's why City eventually picked it up, because they were trying to get on the edgy side of television in Canada.
Those are the good old days. Remember Bravo?
Bravo and Showcase.
Yeah. Remember when they would air like Ninja Scroll?
Yeah. Yep. That's where I first saw Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
First time, for sure.
Right here. Speaking of Canadian history, what happened to those? Remember those little shorts where there's like, what we need is a sort of standard time.
Heritage Minutes.
You can buy a DVD set, I think, of all the Heritage Minutes.
They should bring that back. That's how we need more of that. Those are great.
Heritage Minutes were like my bread and butter. It was part of my job to insert them into shows to time out the hour. So I knew them all by heart, and I had my favorites. And if I had to pick my own, it was the Montreal Canadiens stuff going in.
Yeah, the
Avro Arrow.
Is that when they have like they figured out helmets?
The
That's the one.
Jean-Claude one?
Helmets are a good idea. Let's start wearing helmets when we play.
There was the rocket too, though, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Rocket, Jacques Plant.
Nice. Or what if we cut a hole in the bottom of the basket?
Right, these baskets back.
Those things were great.
They were amazing.
And I could air as many of those as I wanted, no limit. They were Canadian content, so I could put as many in as I needed.
Man, Retro Fandango, you want some retro talk. It doesn't get much more retro than that. Canadian Heritage Minutes. Alex, do you know what we're talking about at all?
No, I just thought you were talking about a Canadian TV show.
It's
I live in the
super
US.
Canadian.
So if you're talking about like strictly Canadian things, I have absolutely no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Inside talk, but it's good times, good times. They've got to be on YouTube,
Yeah.
so I would recommend if anyone wants to know what we're talking about.
If you ever really want to
Canadian
watch
heritage.
Canadian history moments.
They're awesome. Those are great. Now, Billy,
Like that and Fort Boyard, those are the kind of things I don't get here in the US.
Love Fort Boyard. That was great.
the raccoons, we can't mention that because it is not depressing sci-fi. It kind of is depressing, though. A lot of depressing comments.
Depressing?
Smoggies were depressing. They just want to live on a happy, like, tropical island. These fucking smoggies come in and wreck the place. It's like my neighbors. Fucking smoking all day. Fuck. You will not get my magic coral, you son of a bitch. Good times.
How did we get into Smoggies?
Any chance, any opportunity I can to sneak some of this stuff.
Yeah,
This is the real retro Fandango. We're getting in there. Do you guys remember on YTV those like early CG shorts?
Yep.
Yep.
They kind of led into a reboot.
Yeah.
Same company. They kind of did a few of those, and then eventually got into reboot.
Man, the world owes mainframe entertainment. Like, could you imagine? Like, they were at the forefront.
They were.
With CG animation. Good times. Good times. Okay. Anyways, futuristic, depressing sci-fi.
This is where the bread and butter is really.
Mm.
Like we were saying earlier, you can't have a future movie without it being dystopian or like post-apocalyptic for some
Pretty
reason.
much.
No one wants to see a movie where it's like, oh, everything's awesome. Yeah, no pollution.
Nope. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
And the first one I've got on the list here is a heavy hitter, arguably one of the most well-known depressing sci-fi, is Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
The aforementioned Darren from the Gaming Pilgrimage, he actually just watched that for the first time. He watched it twice for his film class. It's interesting to hear his discussions on it. He was mentioning that there's a lot of smoke. There's always smoke. People are smoking. There's smoke coming out of buildings and vents and things.
They had to cover a lot of stuff with smoke. I know, like, back then you didn't have CG and stuff like that, so there's a couple of scenes with floating cars where they're just covered in billowing smoke to cover up whatever's lifting them. Or whatever, right? So,
practical effects.
Yeah, wonderful practical effects. So it's interesting because it's set in LA, but LA is like this incredibly densely populated city.
Yeah, well, it's certainly populated by that point. There's like fire coming out of these towers. There's nothing but city.
And what else is cool is that it's mostly populated by like an Asian population because it makes sense. They'd come over the Pacific and that's where they'd land, kind of a thing. So it's
without sounding too racist, Asians, man. If there's overpopulation in sci-fi, there's probably Asians. Oh man.
Wow.
But that movie is I think it was Sid Mead that did like design work on that. He was kind of a futurist and stuff like that, so he came in and designed it. And then the soundtrack just kind of lines up with it perfect, and that was that Vangelis guy.
Yeah.
That movie is just it makes sense that you would have to watch it for a film school class because it's it's a well shot, incredibly like dripping. Every scene is like almost like you could take a screenshot of it and put it up on your wall. But it is so depressing. That world is awful. Like, I don't even know why you want to bother trying to live. It's like, you can live in poverty. Like,
it's got character, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's always a noodle shop when you need one.
Yeah, truth.
But the concept of replicants, these people that are not people, they're actually robots made to look like people who have a shelf life of 4 years. Like, damn. And they're given memories, but they're not real memories. And
they make them a little too, that's the point, I guess, is they make them a little too human.
Mm-hmm.
and you end up having to deal with the fact that they have emotions and problems, and they can't deal with, a 4-year shelf life is too short.
Even to bring it back like Alpha Light, it's kind of similar. Like these superpowered people who just want to live and exist, but humans don't like them. They've been known to cause trouble, so we got to kill them all, and of course they're gonna fight back.
Yeah.
Is that what happened in Terminator?
No,
Tell you
Terminator,
don't-
the machines rose up and just wanted to kill all the people. So I guess it's a similar idea, but
Yeah.
in this one, the replicants, they can't do anything. They got a 4-year shelf life. They're gonna die.
Mhm.
They're put in shitty jobs, or they're made to be soldiers or whatever, and they're really just trying to live.
Yeah, I'll tell you about my mother.
Yeah.
Cool, super cool. But yeah, everyone seems pretty bummed out. Everyone's smoking. That's not
And
a
it
good
doesn't
world.
really get any, like, it's one of those movies where, you have a lot of these depressing sci-fi movies, and there is some sort of a light at the end of the tunnel. Really, at the end of this movie, sure, it's kind of got an upbeat ending in a way, but really, it's still going to end in shit. At the end of the day, things aren't going to get that much better for anybody. It exists in its own little bubble, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the sequel, because I really don't know where they're going to go with it, but they're filming the sequel right now. So we'll see what happens there, but
Mm-hmm. How about Bill or Lexie thoughts on Blade Runner?
That I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, a couple of years. It's never been one of those must-see movies for me, so I don't
That's fair.
I don't look forward to seeing it every time. It might be a little bit slow, and the bleakness might might also be part of that. I don't know. It's okay. Rutger Hauer, man, I love that guy.
It's
Rutger Hauer is fantastic.
influential. Like, I was seeing so many other things while watching Blade Runner. I didn't add it to this list because it's kind of just the way the world is, but Ghost in the Shell definitely has a lot of Blade Runner in it.
Blade Runner was kind of a groundbreaking movie. I know that Ridley Scott, when he was doing it, he had fought a lot of uphill battles to get that movie out. Yeah, I can completely agree with Bill just said. It's a movie I watch every. I can't remember the last time I watched it. I watched it the other day to kind of get prepped up for this, and I felt like it was the movie to watch. But
for sure.
I mean, the last time I probably watched it was 10 years ago, because it's a depressing movie. I mean, you watch it's a very slow burn. It's a very bleak world. It's a great movie to watch every once in a while, kind of thing. But it's not something I could sit down and watch on the regular. But it has a wonderful ending. That ending in the rain and all that stuff with Rutger Hauer, and Tears in the Rain and all that. It's absolutely awesome.
I like that Sebastian guy. I don't know how well you guys remember Batman's animated series, but his character basically comes back when he makes Hardak, the AI.
I remember Hardak. Yeah.
So that was Sebastian. I think it might have even been the same voice actor.
Oh wow.
This old dude with like an accent, Idahoish accent, who just makes machines. I thought that was a really neat sort of cameo. Like, that's fucking Hardak guy. He's in Blade Runner. It's all the same world, I'm telling you.
All the same world.
Which brings us to our next movie, Judge Dredd. Fuck. You're talking about big cities. Like, those were mega cities.
Well, isn't the rest of the world like a desert in this one? So it's like post-apocalyptic, maybe. It's like there's desert, and then there's awful city.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
Now, I can see the Judge as being like a futuristic, more futuristic version of the RoboCops, where it's just like, well, we're doing what we can, but let's just save time. We'll just give the judges guns, and it's like, you were guilty. Bang. That's depressing.
It is.
That's some depressing future right there.
Have you seen Dread 3D or whatever, the newest one?
I haven't seen the new one.
You gotta see it. It's awesome.
I've heard good things.
It's so good. I feel bad because it didn't do well, so they won't make a sequel, but the movie is 10 times the movie Judge Dredd was. It's excellent.
I love the cheesier one, though.
It's cheesy, and that's why I'm not saying I don't like it. It's a good movie. It's fun to watch, but...
Remember the ABC bot? That thing was awesome. Any Big Mac, like Ed 209, dude, Ed 209 versus ABC bot, sign me up. This I want to see.
I like it.
Who do you think would win there? Bill?
For who? RoboCop and
No, Ed 209 versus the ABC bot, which becomes the bad guy in Judge Dredd, his robot bodyguard. Remember that big robot from The Wars, quote unquote?
No, I don't even remember that. Maybe I didn't make it through the end of that movie.
That's a good movie right there. I need that in my collection. I am the law.
That's a hard decision. I'd say ABC bot would win because he's more flexible.
That's what I was thinking. You get some steps.
Yeah.
At 209.
At 209, basically you can shoot in a straight line.
Yeah.
And barely walk. You
He's
put him up
super
against
cool,
ABC bot, it's not going to even...
You never really get to see ABC bot in action, though. He kind of just stands and grunts. I don't know. I'd like to see this fight. That's pretty fucking hype on the CAPMAX Hypecast. Alright. But not too much more to say about Judge Dredd. Once again, big cities, pollution, probably hot, smelly, too many people. Always too many people.
Again, like it's I don't know what it is about our viewpoint on the world, but we're pretty sure we're going to hell.
Yeah.
These movies totally reflect that, all in their own specific way. Judge Dredd is just a pretty extreme version.
Mm-hmm.
But
I kind of like the streamlinedness of the judges, though.
Yeah, for sure.
It would sort my smelly neighbors out, I'll tell you that. Anyways.
TCB.
You know, another future movie popped in my head when we were talking. So I was distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Logan's
Michael Winslow is RoboCop?
Has anyone seen Logan's Run?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but that's another like classic sci-fi.
So we're talking where the future is actually good, right? Except for this one thing.
Yeah, I think they're doing all right there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you're right. I was trying to think of positive sci-fi.
Get the population in check.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's good, but it's got a balance, a zen to it, if you will.
Yeah, they had it going.
Which is what I kind of dig, which is also our next movie that I have on the list, The Fifth Element. It's not really depressing at all. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, they got flying cars. There you go.
There you go.
It's so easy.
It's super cool.
You put flying cars in, everyone's happy.
I did keep it in just because near the end it's literally about being depressed versus like finding a reason to go on living in it, which is love. I recently was exposed to the notion that people think The Fifth Element is an awful movie. Does anyone here dislike The Fifth Element?
I don't dislike The Fifth Element. I always thought that Fifth Element was kind of widely regarded as a really popular sci-fi movie. I'm surprised to hear that.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? People Bill, you're being quiet. Tell me, realistically, what do you think of The Fifth Element?
No, I'm a guy that likes Fifth Element. There are parts of it where you go, oh my god, what am I watching? But then it moves on.
Yeah, The Fifth Element's a real sign at the time. It's got some scenes in it recently, like this is some 90s schlocky kind of...
The main bad guy, his hairstyle is in fashion. It's a fucking bun on the back with the shaved heads. Like, what's wrong with people these days? Back in my day, all these hipster beards. Those things are getting out of control.
Now, Fifth Element, a little bit positive, kind of interesting. If you want to talk depressing sci-fi, 12 Monkeys.
We do.
12 Monkeys is awfully bleak as it gets.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those movies that it's another one kind of like Blade Runner, although Blade Runner kind of has the happy ending. It's cyclical really, and it ends on a low note. It's like the whole movie's depressing. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's just gonna be awful the whole way through.
That's a good one.
It's a great movie.
We could keep going. Like we've got things to go, but we're going to keep thinking of more. But that's a good choice. Who did it? Who was that guy's name? That director?
Luc Besson?
Was it? Damn, he did The Fifth Element as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And he went
that
on
guy's awesome.
Taken and stuff like that. I think he's got a pretty good track record.
I'm pretty sure he did Alien Resurrection as well.
Can't remember.
I know, what's his name? Who did Firefly also did a lot of that. By the way, Alien Resurrection is the real Firefly movie. Tell me I'm wrong. That is the group right there.
I wanted to watch Resurrection so bad. I watched Alien 3 for this, even though...
Nice.
It's depressing sci-fi. We'll get into that later, but
Alien
Resurrection I didn't get a chance to watch.
I liked it. By the way, I am the next guest on Retro Fandango.
Mhm.
It's me. It's me. We're gonna do it
Wow.
on Skype, so it's gonna be rough because my Skype crashes every 20 minutes. But I'm gonna make sure we bring up Alien Resurrection because I seem to remember them really disliking it, which means I have to bring it up. And I'm pretty sure I'll be wearing my Journey shirt, so we'll probably have to bring up Journey at some point too. So
Kevin likes
look
Alien
forward to
3,
that
and most
one.
people don't like Alien 3, so
Oh, Kevin, it'll be a
Get
fun
in there.
time, I'm sure.
that'll be good.
Yeah, good times. Anyways, fifth one, yeah, all in all, pretty good. I like the movie, super cool. There's like operas in space, and there's like a cruise on a spaceship to a water planet. It feels like Duke Nukem 3D, the movie. I like the fifth one. That's a super cool movie.
There's lots of interesting new ideas of what aliens can look like, and yeah, it's interesting. It's just great visuals.
Oh, it's super fun. Great soundtrack. I like future movies where there's just ideas, just don't stop ideas. We will be bringing up Alien Resurrection, as we said, but that another movie just has ideas. Like, remember when he's like, he wants a drink, so he has like a little cube. He puts the cube in a thing, and then he shoots a laser at the cube, and then it like melts into like brandy. What? That's awesome. There's a security system in his breath. So she breaks in by like having a bunch of people's breath in like a little tube. Like, that's fucking future sci-fi right there. Sign me up. Super cool. But we'll get to that. Who here has seen THX 1138?
That's been a long time since I watched that one movie. That's more of like that's like an art house kind of.
Mm-hmm. Old,
You know,
old school.
It's more
Brings
about the
to mind,
visuals, I think, in that one.
Brings to mind even 1984 again.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I watched it not too long ago. I think it might have been one of the movies that made me want to make this episode. But once again, it has like a kind of 1984 feel where there's little to no society as it is. Just people in boxes going from box to box. Their job is to make these robot security guards who don't even do a very good job because one guy eventually escapes. Everyone is constantly kept on drugs just to keep them in line. They're basically in like some weird underground bunker the whole time. There's a jail where it's just a white room where it's like it's just white. There's no walls. It just looks like there's nothing there at all. Super cool sci-fi ideas.
I think didn't Woody Allen do a take on that, one of his movies?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
The one, you see him on the cover, he's all white and he's got like a light bulb in his mouth. It's pretty funny. I can't remember what it was
I do
called.
remember that image, but yeah. Another interesting movie. George Lucas.
Yeah, that's when he's been saying for years he wants to get back into doing kind of artsy movies because of movies like this that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how well THX 1138 did at the time. It's definitely stood the test of time. It's people still talking about it, but like I said, I felt like it was more about the visuals than the story. I remember watching it and I almost didn't really understand what was going on, but every shot is like interesting looking. Like you said, that white room is just white.
Yeah, that is sci-fi.
I don't think it even had a wide release, did it?
I don't think it did, yeah. I don't think it was like a...
It doesn't...
It was a college thing.
Could be. George Lucas gave movie lovers notice of the greatness to come with his feature film directorial debut. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Is Dark Star on my list? Okay, cool. Alright. That more or less wraps up our future. Now, the fifth one should be in the next section, but whatever.
I think you should mention Equilibrium. Have you guys seen that one? Before we move on. Equilibrium is like an action. It was kind of like a bit of a Matrix knockoff, I think, at the time, but it's almost like 1984 with guns. And like you follow what would be one of the thought police almost. It's this guy who's sort of waking up. He realizes that he's been head in his ass for all these years, doing whatever the man told him to do, and he starts to break free of it. But incredible sci-fi fight scenes. It's Christian Bale, one of his first movies. And it's definitely something to definitely watch. Put it on your list. It's really good if you haven't seen it, but it fits in there perfectly. Very bleak, it's like Fahrenheit 451 mixed with 1984, but with guns and Matrix fighting and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, throw it on there. Throw it on the pot.
Yeah. Oh, what year is that? 2002. Thriller tech noir. That does sound like what we're talking about.
Mhm.
That Christian Bale, though, every time. Very distinct face. What do you guys think of when you think of Christian Bale? Do you think Batman or American Psycho? Or...
I think of his freak out.
Mm.
We're through professionally.
That's rough. You just can't speak your mind when you're in the public eye like that. Anyways, which means it must be time for our third section and the final section. Future in space. Now, I did move Lex into here because it is mostly space. I don't know. I only had it in the earlier one because I was thinking of the fourth season where it becomes modern day Earth.
Mm.
Fifth Element could be in space as well. I mean, it is in space, but it doesn't really matter. But what we're talking about now is literally being in space, which is always a trucker story, you know? It's always a road trip. And it's always shit.
Yes.
Because making spaceships is expensive, and we can't afford to make fancy luxury cruise liners for every single random Joe Schmo that we're sending into space to, like, crack planets and look for minerals. No shit. Takes a while to get out there. You need a sturdy ship. We'll send you on this fucking Nostromo thing. It ain't pretty, but it works. It gets you there. First one on our list here, Total Recall. There's a fucking classic right there.
Yeah, I mean, a perfect example of like just wacky. The world sucks, but it's just so wacky. I don't even know if you can call it depressing.
Yeah.
Like the world they live in, yeah, it sucks, but you know, you got all these cool mutants running around, and
That's why I put it on. Not because of Arnold. Like, he's all right.
yeah,
But those people, like, if you thought it sucked to be poor on Earth, try being poor on a different planet.
being poor on Mars with like you gotta like whore yourself out with like all these like people with like 6 legs and stuff like that. It's such a weird world.
Reboot, of course.
Yeah,
The
I
guy who's-
got about an hour into the reboot and I never finished it.
Oh, that is the worst reboot ever. I liked the RoboCop reboot. I thought that was alright.
Oh, I hated that movie. Ugh.
The Total Recall one, that was unforgivable. Yeah, a lot of people really dislike the RoboCop reboot. I thought it was alright. Remember that scene where he's just hanging there, just whatever human bits are left?
That's the best scene in the movie.
That was awesome.
That's when I watched the movie. That was the only scene that I was like, "Wow, this is actually stuck out." Like it was, you felt something. The rest of the movie, I was just like, "This is just," I don't know. That was the only scene in the whole movie that I liked. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, Total Recall. You don't want to be one of those people living on Mars. Like, if some rich dude could just be like, well, you're not going to tell me where your rebel leader is. Boop, nowhere.
Yeah, how bad is it on Earth that you're willing to go up there and like live under like it's like you're basically living under the thumb of like gangs and like it's got to be pretty bad.
Well, this is actually also touched on in Blade Runner because there's that blimp flying around. Go off world, new opportunities. It's the exact same thing, which leads me back to my whole. It's all in the same timeline.
This makes so much sense.
Like, that's exactly what happens if you take one of those blimp ships. You end up
You're
in
up to
Total
Mars.
Recall.
Get your ass to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Did they really illustrate Earth as being bleak though in Total Recall?
It
or
seems
was
okay.
it just kind of alright? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Mars is definitely bleak.
Mars is yeah.
Did you guys ever see the show Total Recall 20? Was it 20?
I bet Bill did.
Probably I got paid to watch it.
Yeah.
No, didn't make that one.
Yeah, I think that one has a little bit more Earth in it, and it's a pretty bleak show. I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Total Recall 2077 or something like that, but I can't remember. But anyway.
Was it Canadian?
Yeah, I think so. Total Recall.
Must have been a showcase.
2070.
2070. It was something like that.
Androids? I don't remember. Were there androids in Total Recall?
It wasn't really based on the movie so much. It was kind of more based on It was more based on Blade Runner, I think, actually. In a way.
Well, there you go.
Because Total Recall itself was kind of based on, I think, like a story by Philip K. Dick, who wrote the story that based Blade Runner on. So I think they went a little bit more Blade Runner with the TV show. Yeah. But yeah, it was CHCH.
Cool.
There you go.
Okay, moving on. The epitome of the space trucker series, at least the first one, Alien. Man, that is top tier sci-fi right there. That Alien series. Would we all agree that the third one was the most depressing?
It's definitely the most depressing. The other ones aren't even like so much depressing. I mean, the second movie is such a like high octane action movie. You're not really even thinking about stuff like that.
It's very focused depression. Like in the first one, how it's just like it's very, very claustrophobic and confining. That's notion that you have to like go into hyper sleep just to get to your job, and time is going on around you, so your family is aging and you're not, but you're there for the money and nothing else really. Pretty spooky stuff. You do get to explore strange new worlds, which is awesome, until an alien sticks itself to your face and bursts out of your chest. Less awesome at that point.
But like, if you take the alien out of the movies, like they're just their lives suck. Like I don't like. It's almost like I wonder why we haven't gone to space yet. Well, it's because we'd have to troll around really slowly in shitty ships and like hate our lives.
The only reason we haven't in real life, I think, is just because there's no reason financially to do it yet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, now they're looking at people sending people to Mars, so.
Well, maybe eventually someday. But like once we find the diamond planet, that's when we're going to space.
You're right about the aesthetic of the first movie. It is very bulky and boxed in because that's how they had to kind of conceptualize these movies back then, and you know they had to make sets and stuff like that. And I think it's more claustrophobic almost the first movie than it is depressing. But the third one is just absolutely just like it's just this bleak, awful world with all these horrible maniacs like living in the same colony and. It's that like I had to watch that one before this one before the show because it totally fits the bill.
Yeah, they really wanted to make you sad that one.
Yeah.
Before we do that, just was Aliens. Once again, like I said, more of an action movie than anything else. But yeah, I guess the role of Newt to be in that situation, little kid, entire colony wiped out by aliens. Kind of depressing.
Kind of depressing.
Kind of tough to believe anyone's not going to kill you at any time, like at the start. Anyways, Alien 3. Hey, remember those characters you liked from the last movie? Let's kill all of them.
That's the biggest kick in the ass about the movie, honestly. The movie itself, if you watch it, it's kind of an alright movie. But
yeah, okay.
Aliens, one of the things, like you just mentioned Newt, one of the things that really sells that movie is that relationship between Newt and Ripley and all the hell they go through in that movie, and then they get away, and it's like so they're killed off screen before Alien 3 even starts. It's just such a
let's get those clips.
Yeah,
it's like credits and then fire.
Like, you start off the movie depressed.
So cool. I don't know if you guys heard my theory. I shared it on I think the Cartridge Club forum, but I swear that Bishop dude, he brought the egg onto their ship.
It had to get in there somewhere. Somehow.
Because you see, like, when they're escaping in Aliens, like, the ship isn't there, but it's actually beneath the landing pad. It's not above it. I think he went down to get another egg because the company wanted him to do it. Because he's a robot man and he can't say no. So he knew they were escaping and he knew they were going to blow everything up. But he was a good guy. But at the same time,
good point.
That egg, it wasn't even hidden in the third movie. You see it, it's just right on the wall. Like, at least.
How did you miss that?
I know. It's so annoying. Right away, the first scene's like, what? How did you miss this? Anyways, does the cat survive? I don't remember.
The cat's in the first one, so the cat does live, but it's left in like Ripley's apartment when she goes into on the second trip. So yeah, cat lived. Probably a nice long life.
Yeah, Jonesy's awesome.
Jonesy's awesome.
The true star. Who stands face to face with Xenomorph and lives because he was in his little carrying case and you can't break that shit open.
Yeah.
Alien 3, let's just kill everyone. Kill the droid, kill the Marine, kill the little girl. We'll bust her chest open just to make sure she's dead. Crack!
Oh, yeah.
We'll give everyone lice. This is rumor control. This movie is a rough place to be.
Yeah.
And spoiler, we'll kill Ripley too. Just to end the series.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Cloning, DNA, alien blood.
Loose plot line.
People hate that so much. I think it's awesome. Remember that room with the failed Ripley clones? That's some depressing sci-fi.
I do. I really wish I'd gotten to watch that movie. I have it downstairs. I will watch it soon.
Yeah, I like
I'll have to see it
Alien.
again.
I don't know. I think it's awesome. You get to see aliens see him. There's that one scientist guy who's like putting his face up against the alien cage. You get that weird newborn thing at the end. Oof. Oof.
That thing I remember. I thought that was pretty lame at the time, but
It's pretty cool because it's like this whole thing is like this weird combination now because of wacky DNA fusions, and it's like, oh, he's just a baby though. I don't know how to feel. I think I'm sad. Just sucked him out the window. That's rough. That's a rough fatality for a newborn alien thing. Oh well. Oh well.
there you go. Depressing.
Yes. Speaking of depressing.
Saddening.
Yes.
We got some Dead Space. We don't have to spend too long on this because I barely remember any of it. I've only really played the first one.
It's
Same story.
well, we're going to talk about Event Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Event Horizon, the video game, in a lot of ways.
Once again, future in space.
Yeah.
These
And everything
spaceships,
sucks.
man. Yeah. Once again, they were just doing their job, going out in space, cracking planets, and whoops, we cracked too deep. There's this weird monolith thing. Aliens. They're like dead people, and you shoot their elbows to kill them, and there's
Shoot their elbows. That's a wild. It's so accurate. You have
Yep.
to shoot them in their like limbs for
Yeah.
some reason, just to make it difficult.
and then their body parts get stuck in a corner, and then they're just wiggling around. Just like, oh no, you've completely ruined the atmosphere, but it's hilarious. I think the Earth gets blown up in one of the dead spaces, which would be super depressing. I don't know for certain though, so I can't prove if that's a spoiler.
Yeah, I only played the first one, and I don't remember. I mean, I remember
It
the
doesn't happen
setting. I
in the
remember
first-
but
I hope that does happen though, because that sounds super cool and super depressing.
oh yeah.
Pandorum, once again, derelict space. I was gonna say space station. I guess it's more of a spaceship. These are all spaceships.
Yeah, I never watched Pandorum because it just looked like a ripoff of Event Horizon, and didn't know if I needed to watch it again. I should watch it. It's on Netflix.
Say it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I like Pandorum. Pandorum's awesome. I have the Blu-ray.
Okay.
Once again, we can just flip through these if you guys haven't seen any of these. But do people wake up in cryo sleep, and what the hell's going on? Ships, nothing's working. It's a video game in a movie form. There's these like evolved people who evolved from because people have been on this ship for generations, and man, you know what's depressing is this weird tribe of hybrid people robot things. It's never really understood. They survive by eating the people who wake up from cryo sleep. So there you go. Never go into cryo sleep. It never ends well. Suddenly you got an alien egg in front of you. You got this alien tribe people eating you. Damn. Can't win.
No.
Anyone seen Dark Star?
It's been a while, but that's John Carpenter, right? That's like one of his first movies, I think. Yeah, that's definitely depressing. It's like they basically have to go through the world destroying planets, but it's like this mundane, like awful job, and they're on this awful ship that's like falling apart.
That is, yeah, John Carpenter.
I think it's one of John Carpenter's first movies, and I think Dan O'Bannon is in that movie, who wrote Alien.
Yeah.
So it kind of like in a way kind of birthed Alien in some regards.
It was mentioned. I recently watched that. There was like a Blu-ray or DVD where it was like the collector's edition, and they had this foreword before it starts, and they said that basically Alien was Dark Star without the comedy. I thought that was pretty cool, so I wanted to add it here. But like you said, just people working a shitty job, but in space, there's no room. There's this stupid alien thing that bounces around. It's basically a beach ball. It's supposed to be comedy. It's not a very funny movie, though.
I forgot that there was like a touch of comedy in that movie. Oh, man, I have to watch that again.
There's a situation where their bombs that they use to blow up the planets are sort of sentient. And one bomb is like, all right, here I go. And then it's like, nope, computer error, gotta send you back. And they keep doing that, and they piss off the bomb. Or it's like, nope, fuck it, you've done this to me several times. I'm gonna blow up. Don't do it. Before we continue, Bill, Lexie, any thoughts on anything we've mentioned thus far?
Dark Star is an amazing Grateful Dead song.
There you go.
Perfect.
And that's definitely what he named it after, John Carpenter, because
I could see that.
that's definitely it. That man loves.
I literally have no thoughts on any of this because one, I've never heard of it, and two, it doesn't exist where I live, which means I've never heard of it. So.
Well, there you go. You got your homework for you. If you want to see a bunch of really fun and, of course, depressing sci-fi, then just keep listening because we got more. Event Horizon, we mentioned it, very much like
Wow.
very much like Pandorum. Probably worse. It has that 90s.
The one bad thing about Event Horizon is that they tried to do CG in it when CG was pretty experimental. So some of the scenes now, I have the Blu-ray, and it kind of looks pretty clunky. But when you get past those scenes, it's really the movie that like Hellraiser 4 should have been.
Oh.
It's really gruesome, visceral kind of horror. I remember when I first watched it a long time ago. This movie actually freaked me out. I remember watching it, I was like, this is some scary shit.
Like when the lights are going out?
Yeah.
Slowly going out? That's cool.
The idea essentially is, they opened up this Event Horizon to like hell, and it's like coming through. It's this is a movie it is depressing. It's set like just like any one of those movies. They go up into space, they go to sleep, they wake up, they have awful jobs, and they're just trolling around space. But then it turns into this like gruesome horror movie. It's almost more gruesome than it is depressing, but it does kind of fit into the pocket. But I think it's kind of a standout. And like I said, Hellraiser 4 was essentially Hellraiser in space, but they kind of didn't quite focus it enough. And this movie was kind of the movie that it should have been.
Very hellish. But it's going to also bring back Dead Space and Event Horizon. Like you might have trouble telling them apart at times.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, well, shady situations. Maybe this is why we're not going into space more.
Well, I guess we're all like, I don't want to go to space. I got to go to sleep for like 10 years and wake up in God knows where with a bunch of people I hate, and one of them might be eating me. Yeah,
that's kind of when P1 of the Cartridge Club keeps going on about the Navy. That's kind of what I think of. Oh, I don't want to be here, but you get to see all this cool shit in Europe. So, give and take.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you guys were given the option to go to space and have to go into cryo sleep, would you do it?
I don't know.
Like if I have to go to maybe. Sorry.
Like if I had to go to space, but I had to, like if I could go to space, but I had to go to sleep for 10 years, I'd miss so much. But then again, when you think about it, sometimes like in space, like the expression time flies, maybe that flies, but like in the form of like a year happens in a second. But people on Earth don't realize that. I don't know.
I don't get that.
I don't know exactly how that works.
Yeah, weird space distance is time thing. Where it's
so
like
maybe
time
it wouldn't
moves
seem
faster because you're too far away. I've never understood that theory. I don't know.
So maybe it seems a long time here, but in space, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I figured if you could go and bring your entire backlog with you, that might be pretty tempting. Like, if you could be the first person on Mars and play all your backlog games on the way there, I mean, come on, that's pretty good.
And you wouldn't have to worry about getting new ones.
Oh, perfect.
The stack wouldn't be getting bigger.
I mean, you'd still have the Wi-Fi. It would take a while, but you'd get all the Game of Thrones. I mean, come on. It's a pretty good deal. Anyways, Wall-E. Surprisingly depressing if you think about it. Hey, let's just destroy all of Earth with pollution. Whoops. Well, we can take our cruise ship and fly around anyways, and we'll be okay. But we'll be so okay that people will evolve to the point where their bones aren't even attached anymore. They're just fat blobs on floating ships. Floating like lounge chairs. That's super unique, depressing. Whoa, Wall-E. I wasn't expecting this.
That's a story of consumption.
There you go.
Very much so.
Like Idiocracy, I guess.
That too. That's like hipster depressing. It's like, oh, we know. Idiocracy is almost too on point in that regard. That's the whole point, I guess, of the movie. It feels like something what's his name would do. Your favorite guy, the Clerks guy.
Kevin Smith?
Yeah, there you go. Did he work on that?
No, that was Mike Judge.
Mike Judge is pretty cool people. Cool people. He did King of the Hill. Neat. Oh boy. Hey, someone tell me about Europa Report. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Who wrote that? RyHo.
Europa Report. I haven't watched that one either. This is the one where they're like, it's literally like about a ship in space. It's like shipping stuff. I think. Mm-hmm. To get just so bland. I've had it on my to-watch list on Netflix for like forever and haven't watched it. Haven't pulled the trigger because it just looks boring.
Let's see. 2013 thriller science fiction. When unmanned probes suggest that a hidden ocean and single-celled life exists on one of Jupiter's moons, 6 astronauts embark on an ill-fated, there it is, exploratory mission.
This is not the movie I was thinking of, though. I think this one might be like one of those shot on video. Fan footage, yeah, it's a fan footage.
Yeah.
Won't be watching that one.
Yeah.
But it definitely sounds like it fits the...
I'm guessing Brazil wrote that in. Okay, who put Interstellar in here?
Not me.
Brazil. Farscape. Who put Farscape in here?
That was Brazil was talking about watching that, I think, too, wasn't he?
I brought that up.
You brought that up? Okay.
Love Farscape.
Is
I've
that
never
the
watched
one with
Farscape.
Jim Henson stuff?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, if you can get past the Jim Henson puppetry, it's a really good show.
I could get into the Jim Henson puppetry. I love that stuff.
That's why I'd be there.
I didn't know about that. That's a show I've heard about my whole, for years.
It never got a fair shake because of the puppetry, because people just, it's puppets in space, I'm not watching that. You know,
it would be hard to take seriously, I guess.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
It all depends.
Some of the puppetry was really good, though, too.
I can see that. I was thinking about dinosaurs the other day. That I don't
Sometimes
remember.
I just think about dinosaurs.
I'm always thinking about dinosaurs. Again. That must have been really good puppetry because I don't remember it ever being an issue. It seemed, once again, nostalgia goggles. I haven't seen it lately. It might be awful by modern standards, but I think that was pretty legit.
You mean the sitcom dinosaurs? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, just the way it looked. It was a sitcom, but they were all giant Muppets, I guess, right? Probably people in the suits.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't bad.
Pretty impressive.
I like that show.
About it.
It was watchable.
Cool show. That depressing ending because the Ice Age comes because they clear-cutted the big forest, and then it's like, no. And then it ends with the Ice Age starting, and it's about to kill off all the people. Damn it, Jim Henson. Why are you gonna hit us in the fields like that?
Super savage.
So savage. All right. Well, we got through our list. That was a good ass
Jim
list.
Henson.
He was, and that's what was so great about it, because kids weren't mollycoddled in my day. You watch Labyrinth, it's all about shit not always going your way.
No doubt.
They keep telling Sarah, well, that's just the way it is. She's like, that's not fair. And they're like, well, no, but that's the way it is. That's a good lesson for the kids. Shit ain't always fair. Deal with it. Just deal with it. Make it fair. Do what you gotta do. Get her done.
Mm-hmm.
Live that life while you can. Anyways, we got through a list. That was a good time. I didn't want to end off as being so negative, so I did put the good news. Who's got some positive sci-fi? Let's bring it back a bit. Who's got some... I put Star Trek. I mean, that's arguably the most positive sci-fi series. I mean, there's still conflict, but it's very optimistic for our future.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, it's funny. We talked about it tonight. Why aren't there more shows that are like that in a way? The Enterprise looks like a pretty cushy place to work. I mean, shit goes down, yeah, but everything's pretty bright and nice, and you can go to cool planets and hang out. And what's that name of that planet? Ryza? I want to go to Ryza. Go on vacation. That shit looks awesome.
The 6th planet. That's where the Lex was trying to get.
That's where I don't know why the Lex never got there. It seems
I
like a pretty
know.
popular spot.
Went the
But
wrong way.
they should have talked to Riker. Pretty sure he's got a discount. He's been there so many times.
That's a crossover I want to see. Can we kickstart that?
Star Trek X Lex. Yeah, like it makes you wonder. It's funny, like, you hit it on the head there. They just found other ways to make conflict instead of just having everything suck.
Well, the great thing about Star Trek is it just mirrors what's happening in modern day times. It just touches on simple concepts like racism, which of course was big back in the original series time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the episode with the white and black people is like, we don't like him because his face is white on the side and not black on the side, and they're both black and white, but just how silly racism can be now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so... But they work through it. They try and work through it.
For sure. And the world, like, Earth is pretty nice in those, like, I mean, if you watch some of the new ones, like, it looks like a pretty nice place to live.
Some people have jobs, which is weird because it seems like no one needs to work. I never really understood that. They work because it's fun? I don't know. And then Enterprise fucked it all up by just
Maybe
time
that's
travel
like
shit.
the fiction part of science fiction.
It's an obtainable future, hopefully, someday. We just need those warp nacelles. I threw in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journeys Future.
Well, really, the first one, An Excellent Adventure, isn't it like, it's like, if you go, they go to the future and it's like everything's awesome, and it's all because of these two guys, and we basically go through their story and stuff like that, so, you know.
Which is interesting. Did they have to make the future awesome by going back in time?
Yeah, it's kind of like a time loop thing. It's like, our world is awesome, but it wouldn't have been if it weren't for these two guys. But since it's time travel, they got to actually go do it. So you actually kind of like follow them as they make the future awesome.
Yeah.
So
Time travel, man. Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble, no doubt.
But it worked out. I mean, everything's like slow guitar motions. God gave rock and roll. Was that your show, Bill, when someone was talking with J-Rock about... No, that might have been Retro Fandango. I don't know. Someone was talking with J-Rock about the Kiss song.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that was Richard Rambox talking with J-Rock, and he didn't know that song was from Kiss, so it kind of ruined the movie for him. I too thought it was an original song for Dead's Focus Journey. Anyways, we put Tomorrowland on this list. Did anyone see that movie? I don't think anyone saw it.
Nope.
I don't think it did well. I think it was kind of a
I did
bomb.
not see it.
Yeah, okay. We'll just assume it's good news for the future and Tomorrowland.
It looks like it's good future kind of
Okay.
stuff. But
Yeah, we even got Back to the Future too.
I threw that on there. It has like both.
Yeah.
Really, when they go to the future at first, it looks pretty cool. Flying cars.
Yeah.
Everyone looks pretty happy. Of course, when they do the whole Biff thing, it kind of throws the whole thing off. But
Yeah, the original future was...
the original future is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the big CV Jaws thing, which looks awful by today's standards. It's like, bruh. That's cool. No goggles required there.
No,
Anytime VR doesn't require goggles, that's a happy future.
no doubt.
Cool. All right, well, good discussion, everyone. I think we're about ready to wrap up our Depressing Sci-Fi segment. Oh, aside from that, we just have a few topics of interesting news, and then we can say what you're looking forward to next, and everyone can pimp their channels again. Sound good?
Cool.
We'll just roll right through these real quick. PS4, worth getting now? Seems like it. I'm almost on board. Now we've got E3 around the corner.
Yeah, but they kind of already came out and said, you know, the PS4 Neo is a thing, but we're not showing it. They're kind of pulling the Nintendo. And I think everyone's doing this now because not showing something that people are expecting at E3 is almost worse than at least telling them beforehand they're not going to see it.
Have you guys noticed that all the PS4s have been going on sale this weekend?
Same with the Xboxes. I think they're going to have a Slim too, some kind of maybe a slim down cheaper model. But I think they're both going to do the same thing. You're going to have a PS4 that's a little cheaper, maybe an Xbox that's a little cheaper, and then you'll have their more powerful one, which will support VR and all that
4K,
stuff. So, yeah,
all of that.
But I don't
They've
know,
always done that.
Here's my take on the. Here's my take on the whole PS4 Xbox thing.
Mhm.
There's no games, or at least no games that have been like long-lasting, like 20 years down the road, people will be like, holy shit, that's still a good game. There's only maybe that one game that's cool for like a week, and then everybody just forgets about it. And like
it's just a sign of the times, though. People are so used to having something come out the next week that it seems like people have to fly through everything. It's too bad.
Yeah, I don't know how people get that, but
I want to care again.
But like for me, the reason that that I'm not really interested in the PS4 is because I don't particularly like Sony. I have an Xbox 360 and I have a Wii. And like speaking of Nintendo, the only thing that I think Nintendo's showing at E3 this year is some Zelda game and nothing else, or at least nothing else that I've heard of, and I'm kind of disappointed that they're not showing anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few random things I think were in the queue, but everyone's just going to be bugging them about the NX, and they're like, well, we can't tell you yet, sir.
Yeah.
Here's some Zelda, which you have to wait for because of NX, but we can't tell you about that. It's rough.
I think E3 is going to be kind of... I've been seeing all this stuff on the different sites. Like I was reading an article today, I think on Game Rant, it was like, could this be the best E3 yet? And I'm like, really? This looks like the worst one yet.
Yeah,
this is going to be awful.
Same.
I'm not excited. Like, I've taken work off in the past and stuff like that to watch this stuff. I'm not doing any of that this time. I mean, I'm happy to see the new Zelda. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to love it, I'm sure. It looks great. I love those games. But I'm still just not. I mean, I'm still not on the I gotta have an Xbox One or I've gotta have a PS4. I can't. I don't look at their lineups and think I gotta have that. Now, that new.
Especially with the price hikes we have to deal with in Canada. $80 a game? Fuck you.
Oh, when I go buy games now, man, that are new, I can't do it. I can't deal with it. It's demented. But I think it's Square Enix has a new game coming out called I Am Setsuna that looks awesome. That's coming out for PS4. Yeah, the Chrono Trigger one. But I think it's also coming to PC. So right off the hop, I'm kind of like, well, once again, I don't need to get a PS4 to play anything. But it's just becoming intriguing in the last little while. I think it's their whole
they're getting there.
They emulated the Xbox Live Gold thing. You can get free games and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's I would have to see it for a good price. I've been kind of eyeing on like Kijiji and stuff like that to see if somebody's selling one that's like broken that I could repair. Yeah. You know what I mean, and get it for a decent price. But I'm not going out and buying one. But
for sure, yeah. E3 isn't necessarily. Go ahead.
Sorry, for me, E3 like the past few years, E3 has been like I gotta like glue my eyes to the laptop or see what's going on, what's coming out and stuff. This year, I'm just like, like, it's like
everything's been leaked already.
I pretty much know what E3 is gonna be about already. Like the PS4 Neo, whatever Zelda NX thing is coming out, and that's pretty much it. Like
I'm
other
sure
than maybe like some like Madden NFL game or like NBA 2K whatever game.
The usuals. Yeah.
There were games that they probably would have like launched and they would have been surprises, like what was it, Watch Dogs 2, a couple of them, but they're all getting leaked.
Oh, yeah,
they're all getting leaked all over the place. Like it's whatever they have going in that they think is going to surprise everyone. I think Microsoft has said that this is going to be a big E3 for them. But everyone's pretty much surmised that they're going to show off a new Xbox One slim model and a VR version like everyone is expecting. And I don't know what, maybe Gears of War, which everyone knows is coming out. I just don't know. I'm interested to see if they surprise me, but I think it's going to be one of the I think this is good. This could be put the nail in the coffin of E3. It's been slowly dying.
Yeah.
I saw like today. I think I saw this GIF on Twitter that's like the old It's this old Mickey Mouse cartoon, and he's roasting a hot dog over a campfire, and it says Nintendo next to it. And then Mickey looks over and he sees like Donald Duck and somebody else representing Microsoft and Sony, and they're just having a feast.
Yeah.
And then Mickey looks back at his hot dog and is just burnt. Like, welp.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that are like this is why I'm starting to feel like I'm really disconnected with what's going on with like video games and all that right now. Like maybe I'm just an old fogey and I can't get behind it anymore because I see all these people talking about how excited they are for this E3 and they're looking forward to the games that are coming out for their PS4 or their Xbox One. And I'm just sitting back like I don't know why everyone's buying them. I don't get it. I don't know what's out there that's selling it.
I know. I want to feel that. But
like there's gonna be like Let's Play spamming on Twitter for like a month. Yeah. Then it won't be cool anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah, in the words of Joe, no one gives a shit, dude.
Yeah.
Me with E3 this year, I straight up don't care.
Yeah. Just saying, special shout out to Mighty Q Dog, who's now in the chat. That was Bill's latest guest on his Start to Continue podcast.
Goddamn superstar.
He is a superstar.
There you go. I do also have on the list here, which is pretty surprising. One new game I'm looking forward to for the PS4. Natsume announced they're working on a new Wild Guns game. Exclusive to PS4. What?
Didn't they come out and say like they're basically coming out with like 3 retro titles, like new versions, like a Kunio-kun game, I think is coming out. Like Natsume's kind of like they were like, let's bring back some of our old stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, about time someone realized, hey, this retro stuff kind of popular right now. Maybe we could bring some of our old games back and maybe we'll make a couple bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
we'll not watch it fail.
Just remember the topic I was going to mention. Anyways, we're just going to zip through the rest of these. Disney Infinity, no more. Didn't meet expectations of Disney, so they're shutting her down. It's too bad. The games were never that great, but I did like the figures. They're really arguably the best of all the Toys to Life. Just the figures, best quality. Pretty cool.
In my opinion, Disney Infinity was okay. Like, I don't really think it could live up to Amiibo or Skylanders or whatever you have in Canada. Like it's the Disney of that. So I've never played them. I've seen them. I just thought the whole Disney Infinity 3.0 thing that was just okay.
Yeah. There. Yeah. Supposedly everyone, the reviewers claimed that the games were getting better. I felt they were all pretty much the same thing. But I do like the figures. I just think maybe they'd picked better movies to base figures on. No. You can buy Baloo from the Jungle Book. That's cool. Alice from the new Alice in Wonderland movie. Oh. If it were the old school Alice in Wonderland figure, I would have bought it already. Oh.
I used to have like the old Alice in Wonderland DVD, like the one before Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like the live action one.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I love that Alice in Wonderland. Good times.
Same.
Alright. We got Overwatch trailers equal hype. Has anyone here played Overwatch yet?
I haven't played it, but I've seen like I like to Reddit, and it like Overwatch owns Reddit. It's just constantly like little gifs of people do like kill cams and things like that. And I watched a couple of Twitch streams. It looks super fun.
I guess it's a whole lot like Team Fortress 2. Like
it's really
made about Overwatch, where it's just like, yep, that's Team Fortress 2.
It's like Blizzard was sitting there like we can just make our own version of itself.
I have not played Team Fortress 2. I've seen pictures of it, and there's like a Overwatch TXT on Twitter, and I've seen like 2 or 3 live streams of it, and I've heard about the characters like Tracer and all of them. But yeah, I've heard it like being connected to Team Fortress 2 a lot.
I think that whole cover the butt thing, I think that was just advertising.
Oh, that was excellent advertising.
Yeah, it did.
You know about it because that was so all over the place. Like that was totally ridiculous.
Yes.
You play the game and it's just butts. It's just the whole game is just butts.
But I do get a PS4 Overwatch is on the list.
There you go.
I could get it for the PC, but I don't know. It just feels like I don't know. I want it physical copy. Just I don't know. It should make sense on PC, but whatever. Probably it's good on controller too. And finally, just something that happened pretty recently is Konami released a new YouTube video for their latest pachinko machine based on Metal Gear, and it's one of the most unliked videos by white people who don't understand what pachinko even is.
Yeah.
And they're mad because,
I
you
know what
Konami,
pachinko is.
they're taking our beloved Metal
why.
Gear series, turning it into your weird gambling game. I think it looks super cool.
I mean, I'm never gonna play a pachinko
Just
game.
go back to Castlevania. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Castlevania pachinko too.
I'm sure Konami's made it pretty clear that they're trying to go mobile.
No.
They're getting away from console games in a way. Although they did do that nebulous kind of. They did. Remember, you guys? They've sent out like a questionnaire. What games would you like to see us bring back and stuff like that? It was like. Kind of made people think maybe we'll see some new Metal Gear, we'll see some new Castlevania stuff from them that might actually be worth a damn. But I think people are just up in arms because of the whole Kojima situation.
Yeah.
He was unceremoniously axed, and then what's gonna happen with Metal Gear? Oh, pachinko. So it's just
It's just fanboy rage.
Just why?
this shit happens all the time. They're gonna make pachinko games off everything if they can in Japan, and it's gonna do incredibly well. Like it doesn't affect anything really. But
Well, just go
Just
into a casino here in Canada. Like every license is up for grabs at the slot
know.
machines.
Exactly.
Everything.
I think because it exists in this form that it will not exist anywhere else. I mean, that's not true. It's just
Like my opinion with the whole.
yeah. Go ahead.
Like my opinion with the whole pachinko, like Metal Gear machine. Just stop, okay? Just go back to making Castlevania games, back to making Metal Gear games, back to stuff that actually makes people, want to buy your shit and not, like, make people rage about it and be like, what is this? And
They'll rage regardless.
just also quit making mobile games because, like,
No.
because of, like, if you're, because that does not mean, just mobile games are just no, just why?
It's the market is why.
well, the thing is, the mobile games sell well. They just aren't doing a good job of it.
They don't even know half the time. Just like, boop.
They made that. They bought the Hudson license and they made that Bomberman mobile game, and it wasn't very good. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're trying, but they're just not. They can't quite land
that one
it.
hurts.
Yeah.
But they had the money.
Wow.
I just think it's like pachinko has done more than like pinball ever has locally, which is unfortunate because pinball's become this sort of lame niche thing. But I mean, you could have a pinball machine anywhere, but we don't. I never see pinball machines. Pachinko, though, very similar idea. It's just like vertical, and there's no pinball flipper thingy. But otherwise, you get to play a pinball-esque game, watch crazy lights go off, watch cool little screens, and shit happens, and then you get prizes. I think that's pretty cool. Tomorrow I'm going to ask Richard Rambox to tell us more about the wild world of pachinko. Hopefully he has some statements for us because he lives in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to hear someone who actually lives in Japan hear what they have to say about the state of pachinko, because North America, we have no idea. I think it's misplaced anger. Anyways, I think that about wraps up this episode of the CAPMAX Hypecast. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. So what we'll do is give everyone a chance once again to pimp out their Twitters, their YouTubes and whatnot, and then we'll see if anyone's got anything they're looking forward to once again, be it a show or a movie or a game or whatever. Actually, we'll start with, let's as it was before. We'll start with Bill again.
Oh. All right. I win.
You win.
You win.
You did it.
Feel
I
good.
don't know. What is there to say? What is there to say? We got a little podcast called STC Pod. You can find that on stcpod.com or at the Cartridge Club, where everyone should be, checking out all the awesome content there. Every podcast that needs to be there is there, I find.
There you go.
Everyone you need is right there at the Cartridge Club. cartridgeclub.org. And, check out our podcast if you get a second. STC Pod. What else can I say? That's it.
Two dudes talking about whatever.
Yeah, we're just, it's nothing heavy.
Yard sales and raising kids or different ideas of how to raise kids. And going to see movies with your real estate agents. Hanging out with the good old boys at the STC Royd.
Yeah. Some people like it. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, it's fun time. You're lucky you had Kevin to back it up, though, man. I didn't understand it at first, but Kevin would not shut up about STC Pod. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And now I'm on board too, with the craziest and most elaborate thumbnails you can find.
I love how you throw Paul in there constantly.
Yeah.
It just makes me weak.
He's got a baby now in the thumbnail.
Is that
Yeah.
who that is? I've been wondering. He looks different. It's the outfit. Yeah, I like the baby. He put his head on the trolley wheel. Good test. And those are amiibo at the bottom, I'm guessing?
Hey, oh yeah.
Perfect. We're
Eric
talking
is
about
buried in
episode
amiibos.
88's thumbnail of the STC Pod. Cool. And they can find you on Twitter at STC Pod, or your co-host, Angry Canadian Decepticon Joe. What's that, AC Decepticon?
Yep, AC Decepticon. And, actually, we're on Instagram nowadays, although I'm not very prolific on there. That's STC Pod. We're all over. Check it out.
There you go. And anything you're looking forward to, be it a show or a season finale, a game coming out? Maybe playing some Star Fox?
I don't know, like these last couple swaps I got in the yard selling, I got massive stacks of games here. I don't even know what... well, actually, The Last of Us. I'm going to make an effort to sit down and play that.
Nice.
As well as the Game of the Month. I'm playing Sonic 2 as well. Sonic 1, 2, well, whatever, 3. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I still think Sonic City is awful. I'm sorry. I don't like that one. Those levels, they're just awful level design. But yeah, first 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, definitely get through those if you can. Knuckles is pretty neat. He's a different way to play the game.
Yeah, I've never played that, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And I have it for the GameCube, that multi.
Those
that
are
came out
awesome.
on the GameCube.
Those are awesome. Nowadays, you have to pay for them all separately in digital form.
$5 a pop.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, good stuff. And that was the voice of RyHo Magnifico. Once again, if you want to just give the people some YouTubies and Twitters and anything you're looking forward to.
Twitter at RyHo Magnifico, RyHomagnifico. I don't know why I feel the need to spell it out every time. And you can check out my website. you can check out my website at www.retrodef.ca. I think I have all the links to everything socially on there as well. As Bill said, Cartridge Club, I'm on the forum there. You can always find me on there for sure. As far as games that I'm looking forward to, maybe I think if Fire Emblem falls through for me, my last-ditch effort, I'm going to move on to Bravely Second. I enjoyed the first one, so I'm probably going to check that one out on my 3DS. That's the other game I've kind of been looking forward to. Other than that, I would like to get Star Fox for the Wii U, but I've heard some weird things about the controls and back and forth on what I'm going to do there. I might wait till that one comes down in price or something like that.
Yeah,
but
just wait.
yeah, I'm just going to wait that one out, I think. But that's pretty much it. Probably just watch the rest of Hannibal. That show is great. Check out Hannibal.
Right on. Well, thank you for being here tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And our surprise guest, Lexie. I want to tell the folks again, once again, thank you for showing up. At such
No problem.
I want to tell the
You're
people where they can find you on Twitter. You do have a YouTube channel, and if there's anything you're looking forward to.
Right. My Twitter handle is LexieFM, or sorry, Lexie_FM, LEXIE_FM. That is also my Instagram handle. You can find me on Tumblr as well. I already forget what my thing is. I don't know. You can ask me for it on my Twitter. I don't mind.
Yeah,
my YouTube is LexieFM, LEXIEFM. Same with my Reddit. Things I'm looking forward to. Hopefully the new Zelda game will be will be a good game.
It better be.
Like the NX. It better be a good game because apparently recently Zelda has been doing not too well.
Yeah. I want to play the other ones on Wii U. I just don't care anymore. It's too old, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, I also sort of own this organization called called Flight Mode. You can get it. You can get to it in my Twitter. I have the link in my bio. I have the handle in my bio. So yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for being here tonight.
You're welcome.
I am Steven. Everyone, thank you for listening to my CAPMAX Hypecast. I think it's a pretty good show. You guys have fun today?
Yep.
Yeah, we did it.
Except for the depressing part.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
depressing.
it's depressing in the sense that I've never watched one of these movies and felt actually super depressed. It's just like it's so interesting that for some reason, whenever they make a futuristic sci-fi movie, it's depressing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it says about us, but it's a pretty cool topic. So I was pretty happy to be here today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun times. Cool. I'm gonna send me some more links to the sausage thing because I feel like I'm missing out. I haven't seen it yet or heard it yet. Of course, you can check me out, CAPMAX Gaming on YouTube. I've got that 5 nostalgic video game thing to upload next, and then I want to show off some of these thingies in my background here. I've got some robots I want to show off and all that stuff. Just a matter of finding the time and all that. When it's not blazing hot inside my apartment. And of course, if you found the show, if not on YouTube, you can find it on Podomatic, where you can hear just audio with edits, throwing some fun music tracks. And I'm at Steven Eider. That's Steven with a V-E-I-D-H-E-R. That's over on Twitter. And what I'm looking forward to is hopefully we'll have a fun time tomorrow as we record the latest Retro Fandango podcast. Oh, we'll see how that goes. Should be an experience. And of course, Game of Thrones, I'm enjoying that as always. I would like to do more live streams on that. Probably won't happen. Maybe it will. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough of a viewer base to see if I can just chat with the viewers as I just discuss it. We'll see. If people want to join, I'll bring it up with Kevin tomorrow, see if he wants to do more of those. And I guess I'm just keen to see what gets announced at E3. We did mention that, but hopefully there's some new announcement that hadn't been leaked, and some good news for gaming coming to all of our features. Hopefully. I want them to release that Monster Hunter game, the Stories one. If they announce that on the 3DS for North America, I'll be happy because I really want to play that. Cool. All right, that's it. We're done. Everyone, thanks for being here tonight. Everyone who is in the live stream, we did get Mighty Q-Dog joining us at the end, and of course Lexie was there before. And she's here now. And we had Zelda, and we had Austin Clark. Hope his baby is behaving. Everyone's having babies these days. It's crazy. Yoshi Knuckles was in the chat. Everyone that stopped by, thank you for stopping by. And everyone who listened, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye. Bye, SCC Void.
See ya.
Bye, Lexi. And we're done. Cool. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to go to bed.
Perfect. Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks, guys. I know time zones and all that.
It's all good. It's all good.
No
Talk to you later, man.
dude.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for being here for the entire time, too. I know you were able to leave at any time, but I'm glad everyone's...
That was fun. It was fun to stick it.
Yeah, right on. And of course, watch the tweets for links for once this is up, and feel free to retweet that. And yeah, cool. Everyone, have a good night.
Talk to you later.
And a good weekend.
See you, RyHo.
See you guys.
See you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.